Well, hello and welcome to our next Elden Ring run. Today, as the title and thumbnail would suggest, we are doing all of the Twin Blades. Now, the best starting class for this is probably just going to be Warrior. Shout out to the Curved Sword run I just did. This is that, but again, there's going to be a total of 8 Twin Blades that we use throughout the course of this run, which is kind of surprising. It feels like there should be more. 6 of them are in the base game, 2 of them are in the DLC. We're probably going to fight the same bosses as last time, so we're probably going to end up skipping like Lich Dragon and, you know, Matir, all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and do Golden Seed for our starting. And I don't really have like a character put aside like I did with the Guts build we did. So we're just gonna call this all Twin Blades. I forget where I got this character preset from. It was either from Reddit or sometimes on Nexus mods, people will post their own character creations. But this is not mine. I did not make this character. I don't know, I thought it was kind of fitting of a very Dex Twin Bladey run. Let's get it going. It does feel good to be back in Elden Ring. As much as I love Dark Souls 3, this game does just feel a little bit more fluid with your control. So, also just res out my HUD off. That's not great. I have no idea how much health either of us have, but who needs that? That's easy mode. Having your HUD on is easy mode. And if you do it, then you're a fake gamer and you get no bitches. I think that was, yep, okay. Well, we're a fake gamer because I'm turning on the HUD. Sorry, gang. Now, what's cool about the Twin Blades is it's actually, I think, the fastest weapon you can get off spawn in the game. It is directly outside of your starting area, which is kind of odd. It's a very out there weapon. I feel like it would be like a great sword or like a spear or something. Like a twin blade seems like kind of an intense like first weapon off rip. I think we do actually need torrent to get it though, because we need to like double jump off of like a fence, but it's where you get teleported over there into the cave in Caelid. That's like the booby trap of that place. There is a real treasure, and it is the first twin blade. Now, going into this, I assumed that most of the twin blades would be dex scaling. I kind of envisioned this as like another dex run, which would be the third in a row, which is kind of strange because I usually do strength, but it's good to branch out. But looking at just the wiki, it's like only half of them are dex scaling. The other half seem to be strength scaling, actually. Like the second one, we're gonna get twin knight swords, twin blade, D strength, E dex. So this might be a more quality build than I even intended it to be. Now, Twin Blades are a weapon class that I do have some experience in. They're not my most used class by any means, and I've only really used like 2 of them. I know I've used the standard Twin Blade like a little bit, but mostly I've used the Godskin Peeler and then that Bleed one, which name is escaping me right now. Those I think are like the most commonly used. Those are the ones I always come across. I always get the Bleed one in my runs just because you need to kill that person to get like the tier for Mohg to make his fight doable, or not doable, but easier with his the tier that stops that bleed attack from happening, from hitting you at least. Yeah, other than that, I don't really know how most of these are gonna go. I know one of the DLC ones is said to be really, really good. It's like the Euphoria or something. It does like a big holy beam. So I'm looking forward to that. I always like using overpowered weapons that I've never used before, like seeing what all the hype's about. And there we go, Twin Blade. Now, we can't actually use it yet. We do need 2 more levels into Dex, but our strength requirement is met. So, in retrospect, I could have maybe chose the other starting gift with the money, but my bad. I mean, I probably could have killed this guy for it. My confidence in being able to kill him is like non-existent. So I think I'm gonna go collect my usual stuff. You know, just my, the Physic Flask, just grab the maps in the area, Charge Talisman. I mean, I guess Charge Talisman might not be that great this run since it's a little more Dex. At least some of the Twin Blades are. But we'll just collect all the usual stuff. Oh, and I did figure out the problem. My death counter, like increasing and decreasing. Since I'm using the Steam controller now, the left touchpad actually acts as a D-pad. And on my keyboard, I had the up arrow and down arrow mapped to my death counter. So I kept accidentally hitting the D-pad with like my palm whenever I was like going through menus or something, and it would like repeatedly hit up and down like a random bit. And what kind of sucks is I noticed it right at the end. It went up to like 36. It should have been like 34. I don't know how many times that happened and I didn't notice it because like my recording was paused, you know? Because I feel like in my heart, I thought I died more than I thought I did. Like I thought I had like 25-ish deaths and the total was like 34. But that could also just be cope. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, if you were not here for the last Elden Ring video that I've done, I do use a few mods. As you can see, I have a mod that makes Torrent go faster. I think it's like 1.5 times speed. That is just going to speed things up on my end. It might make like a few sections different, like where I'm running from stuff, but it's stuff I wouldn't normally die to anyway, I promise. And then the big one is the Great Rune Overhaul mod. That is going to basically redo the entire Great Rune system in the game, because I don't like it, and I don't really want to explain it every single time I do one of these, just in case there are some repeat viewers here. But basically, I think that rune arcs are too rare of an item for how important they are in the game. I infinitely prefer the Ember system in Dark Souls 3. I think it had it perfect with how it handled it. So this goes for something completely different. It's going to have every Great Rune have a passive effect rather than just having a big effect whenever you have a rune arc activated. So stuff like Godrick's, for example, usually what happens is you use a rune arc when it's equipped, and you get a +5 to all of your stats. With this mod, what it's going to do is it's just going to passively give you a +1 to all of your stats for free permanently. And I really like that because it makes it feel like a Metroidvania type game where you're like collecting permanent upgrades as you go along, and it makes your character feel more powerful and not like you're just finding better equipment. It's like your person is getting more powerful. And I really like that. It is undoubtedly going to make the run easier because all of the 6, or I guess 7 technically, because Rennala's, all 7 of the Great Runes do stack. So by end game, I'm going to have a definitively stronger character than what you could achieve in vanilla, but I don't really use it for like its overpowered benefits or anything. I just think it's a really cool idea, and I really like all the effects. And keep in mind, we're not going to be able to take advantage of all of them just because they're very spread. Like some of them help with bleed, some of them help with like mana recovery, some of them are general. But for this run in particular, we're really going to be looking forward to stuff that like helps with basically what the Pontiff eye rings do in DS3 with like successive attack bonus. I think that's what happens when you actually use a rune arc with Malenia's now, instead of that health back on hitting enemies kind of deal. That's just the passive now. I just get that for free. I said I wasn't going to explain the whole thing, and then I explained the whole thing. It's too early in the morning for that. On a different note, my Monster Energy can is dented on the top, so I went to open it, and it only opened it like 1/4 of the way, and then it snapped off, like the can opener part. So now I have like a shard of metal I have to get around so I can suck out all of the liquid in the can, since it won't like come out on its own. So I'm quite literally living life on the edge today. I am escaping shards of metal as I drink. I do this all for you guys. I feel kind of bad for choosing such a long game to do a video on next. Now that I think about it, I should have probably done another like Dark Souls 1 run, because that would only take like 2 days to record and like 3 days to edit, most likely, just so I can get another video out faster. But I was just really in the mood for Elden Ring, and I think personally that takes priority over what would be like best for channel growth or whatever. I just don't want you guys to wait too long, because realistically this is coming out like 3 weeks after my last video, which just sucks for everyone. I don't want to force something out if it's not going to come naturally. I don't want to have like a teeny sprinkle of success in me it like immediately turn into like a capitalist like start taking shitty like mobile game sponsor deals and stuff. Like I think I can afford to take it slow. I've uploaded 4 videos. Like I'm not that guy. We could actually probably go kill that dragon in Dragon Burrow, since we have a bleed weapon now, so that we can just get a ton of runes off rip. That might be pretty solid. I'll still finish up my little errand run here, just grabbing the rest of what I need, but I think that might be the next point of interest. I want this. Thank you. What a chill guy. So chill. Is it just me, or are bears like really cute? Like I would pet a bear, not like a bear as in hairy gay man, but I mean, also I guess that'd be kind of neat, but like an actual like animal bear, I think are really cute. The saddest part of this run is that we are going to have to fight the dual gargoyles again, which I just hate so much, but one of them does drop the gargoyle twin blades, so tragedy will strike. There is no god. It might be worth to grab this stamina ring, or talisman. Goddamn, I gotta stop hopping in between the Souls games and Elden Ring so much. No matter what game I'm playing, I will always use the incorrect terminology. There's going to be at least like 10 separate times I'm going to have to edit out me saying a Titanite shard instead of smithing stone, because that's what I have to do whenever I'm playing Dark Souls, is I'll end up saying smithing stone and somber smithing stone. Now, I might be wrong, but I don't think I am. I don't think we have to grind for a single weapon in this entire run. I think that literally every weapon is just found on the ground. That is such a relief. That's just something that, like, especially the first 2 Dark Souls games do, where they just have random enemies have a 1% drop rate for a weapon. Just really sucks. Recording is going to be a little bit harder for the time being because I now have new neighbors. I live in a duplex that's next to like other like duplexes and like rented out stuff, and the buildings are very close together, but there is a small driveway in between me and the neighbor's house, and the driveway belongs to them. And this new neighbor has possibly the loudest car I have ever heard in my life. It is like a super old white beat up car, but its engine, like not exaggerating, shakes my room. Like the entire half of the house that car is on vibrates. Like if my bed is laying, I'm in my bedroom right now where my desk is. My bed is on the other side of my room, the wall that's not against like the outside wall, and my bed shakes. Like the entire house shakes because of this car. And I have a really strong noise gate on my microphone. Even if I turn my head a little bit, I'm gonna sound very muffled. Even then, this car is so loud and so vibration heavy that you will hear it. So I have to just pause the recording every time they start their car. And I say that because they start their car for some reason like 20 times a day. I have no clue why. Like they won't go anywhere. They'll just go outside, start their car, and just idle for like 5 minutes and then turn off their car. I don't know if they're working on it. I have like my curtain closed so I can't see, but my desk is right in front of my window. And it's been like that for the past like week and a half. Like pretty much as soon as I was done recording for the last video is when they moved in. All right, well, it's time for some runes. Yep. And there we go. That's it. I should probably grab like a golden scarab talisman or was it like the golden foul foot things that give you increased rune gain, but I don't know. 74k is still a lot. I don't think I can ask for much more than that. Okay, so we're gonna need at least 2 points in dex, and then honestly probably just pump health. That's just how my runs go. There we go. Hell yeah. Okay, I've kind of debated if I'm going to dual wield in runs like these, because on one hand, I want to see what each weapon has individually that makes them strong, but I feel like with a class like this, you're kind of meant to dual wield them because of the unique moveset. So I'm not totally sure yet, though I am leaning more on the just using one, just so we can weed out like which ones are actually good and which ones are just being carried by whatever's in the other hand. But for 2-hand moveset with the Twin Blade, this is our light attack combo. And then for our heavy, this is charged. And then uncharged. Alright, and then spinning slash. That is our Art of War there. Ash of War, not Art of War. What? Sun Tzu, hello. And then for a 1-hand. That was heavy. That is just tapping it. And then that's exactly the same, obviously. So yeah, that's our moveset. Pretty basic, but pretty stylish. This weapon looks really nice. I like the golden bands that are on the handle there. I like that. Kind of matches our outfit pretty well. That's crazy that I'm like 30 minutes into this run and I already have like more health than some people do the entire game. People that don't level vigor, like, they terrify me. Like, how do you play this game? Just knowing you can get one shot at any moment. God will just look down upon you and smite you. Now, in terms of other twin blades and their locations, it's very odd. You get like this one twin blade immediately off rip, and then you don't find another one until Altus. But when you do, you find 3 of them. Like, within rock throwing distance of each other is Twinned Knight Swords and Godskin Peeler. They are right next to each other on the map. And then kind of at the same point is where you're doing Gargoyle twin blades for the dual gargoyles. Like, that's kind of the point in the game where you would fight those naturally. So like 2 of them are physically close to each other and the third one is like in that same like point in the game, if that makes sense at all. And then actually there's 4 because in Altus is the blood one that you get. That's like kind of the end to that one dude's quest line that has like the big katana, the girl that kills him. I think it's supposed to be his like wife or something. So yeah, you just get like, in the base game at least, 4 of the 6 twin blades just in the span of half an hour. And then you have, you know, Gargoyle's Black Blade that's in Snowfield, and then you have the DLC ones, but I don't know. I just thought that was very odd. Now, before, I believe we had like 16 Colossal Swords is what we used last time. Since there is only 8 of these, we are going to have a lot, obviously, of repeats for boss fights. So I think we can at least do like the first 2 or 3 bosses with this weapon. Maybe we might mess around with infusions a little more, because I always say I'm going to do that and then I never do it. I just don't really feel like respecking all the time. We also are going to have to do her side quest so we can get that talisman. That's a pretty obvious requirement for this weapon class. It's the exact same as the Pontiff rings in DS3. Does the exact same thing. This is going to be extremely old news by the time you hear this, but just yesterday, the Elden Ring Tarnished Edition finally got a release date. I believe it's either August or September, so not nearly as close as I would hope, but definitely when that launches is when you're going to be seeing my light greatsword run, because I really want to use that weapon class. I still don't know if they're adding a new light greatsword or if they're just putting like a second Milady in. I hope it's a new one, but either way I want to wait, because even if it is just the old one but again, at least I can get it off spawn instead of having to wait all the way until DLC, you know? You know, actually we might not do Margit right now just so I can get upgrade materials first. I have a feeling this isn't going to do a ton of damage. Figured we'd test out the effectiveness of a +0 just on this random little dude here. Get Blide in here just for Blide points. I feel bad for killing him last run. Yeah, pretty decent damage. This is the first time I've like fought an enemy in the game. I need to lock in. I think in general, I like twin blades more than curved swords. I just think curved swords are generally more effective. Like, I enjoy using twin blades more. I just think curved swords are better, but we'll see. I mean, I guess we'll have to wait till we do a curved sword run in this game. I haven't used a ton of curved swords. I know I've used the ones that like this starting class has, and I've used like the bandits, which are considered like the best. Okay, there's that. We'll go ahead and go to our little place there to get all of our smithing stones, and then I'll just see you at the boss, I guess. Man, that stagger's crazy. I didn't pop a physic or anything. He just goes down like that. I will say, this is the most abuse that this troll has taken, like in any of my playthroughs. I think I've just haven't done like a true only slash damage type build in a hot minute. Well, actually, I think that's what that big damage spike was, is that it does standard slash pierce damage. I think it was that pierce that was really doing the heavy hitting there. And I love weapons that have multiple damage types. That is always a benefit. It's like the better version of split elemental damage. I think we have enough smithing stones. Yep. Okay. So I'll go ahead and get this upgraded. It's like a +3 or whatever, and then we'll go hunt down Margit. All right, sets up damage. I got it to +4. I don't remember when, but I got 2 smithing stone 2s, I guess. So go ahead and check those out. This is still uninfused with anything, so damage isn't terrible. Could be better, but you know. Ooh, nice. That stagger kind of saved me. I did not intend for that to happen. I wonder what cool Ashes of War we could utilize this run. I don't usually use like ashes for weapons like this. Unless it's like a somber weapon. I don't usually ash spam. I usually just pick weapons that already have a cool enough moveset to where I want to use that. So the ashes I use are usually like buffing stuff. Or if it's something like, what is it, Blasphemous Blade that just has a really good ash, and then I'll use that pretty liberally. Just in general, I don't usually use a ton of ashes. I wonder if there's like a really good one built for Twin Blades. So I think in terms of Ashes of War, Twin Blades feel like a very infused weapon with an element type of weapon for some reason. So I did pick up Bloody Slash. I have that equipped right now, but I am also going to go in here just for a moment so I can pick up I believe it's Flaming Slash, which I really wanted to use last time, but could not because they were not available for Colossal Swords. So this is going to be kind of the redemption of that. Let's get from this little guy here. And then we could try running in to grab the Fire Infuse like Wet Blade, but I just don't think that's gonna work out. I don't think we're gonna be able to do it. I'm gonna be so honest with you. Like, our health's fine for this area, but our damage isn't quite where I want it to be. I mean, this is Kaled, you know. All right, we're back. We got Flaming Strike on, not Flaming Slash, but we're gonna try this with Godrick. I should have probably kept on Bloody Slash, to be perfectly honest with you, but I really want to use this, so I'm going to. Bam. So now we got that cool fire damage going. Is infused on our weapon. You know what would be really cool if you could have a different infusion for each blade, since it's a twin blade, you know? Like one side's one element, one side's the other. Like, how is that not like a boss weapon twin blade? That would be so sick. So like if one was better than the other, you know, like let's say like one was fire and one was lightning, you could have like, I don't know, strategically only going so far in your attack combo just so you can use just that one side of it that's effective for a target, you know? Boom. I kind of wish Godrick was a little harder, to be honest. This might most definitely be a me thing, but I never really found him hard even on my first playthrough. I think I said that last time. It took me like 4 hours to beat Margit my first time. This was my first like Souls game. And then I think I beat Godrick, whoops, on my second try. Like I died once to his like phase transition where he does that big like wave of fire thing. When I learned I can just dodge through it, like the fight was over. I personally would like to see a harder Godrick. I actually forget what boss is here, but I put on Sacred Blade. Well, shouldn't matter much, I guess. I've never used this ash before. Okay, well, we have indeed a Sacred Blade. I cannot imagine it's going to be very helpful, but we'll see. Good damage. I don't know how much of that is due to Sacred Blade, but pretty solid. These things are great at stun locking these crystal dudes. This is that pierce damage I can do, and just how fast they attack with normal slash attacks once you break their stance. All right, well, we got our Smithstone Bell Bearing. What else do we need? See, we can grab like 2 more Sacred Tears, maybe some stuff for our Physic over here. I don't really know what to do. We have a lot open to us right now. This is where we take the first death to Vike, as is tradition. Vike will never not beat my ass. Oh, there goes the heal. Longtime viewers will know how I feel about NPC fights in FromSoft games. They suck, is the main thing. At least they only give them like 1 heal, you know? Holy shit, I could win this one, actually. I need to lock in. Holy shit, I beat Vike. This is like the longest I've gone without dying in one of these yet. That's kind of nuts. Alright, this is time number 2 in the recording session where my neighbor has turned on his car for no reason. I wonder if I talk, if it picks it up, because I can see that it picks up on my mic sometimes. Like if I'm dead quiet, okay, you just turned it off. I was just wondering, because like sometimes I'll just pause the recording like, oh god, he turned on his car again, and I'll see the mic on OBS like pick it up every now and then, which is insane. Like, my noise gate is so intense. Like, just to test it, I'm gonna turn my head 90 degrees, and this is what that's gonna sound like. That should sound pretty muffled in comparison. It's like, how is your car that loud? Why would you want your car that loud? I don't think it's because it's just an old car. I think people like do it like that on purpose, like as a flex. This is the 3rd time this session that the car has been turned on for no reason. Just love of the game, you know. We love spending gas in 2026 where gas in the US is $5 a gallon. That's really what you want to see. I think I'm going to preemptively grab Golden Vow, just because I know we're going to respec at some point so we can use the Euphoria. There's no way you can't hear that car. Oh, and it got turned off. Well, I'll see you back in 15 minutes when he turns his car on again for no reason. Oh, hi there. Didn't think you'd be here so soon. No! Fuck! Oh, I got stuck on a wooden fence. If I wasn't so distracted by the loudest car on the planet, you know. Or jumping off of things, that'd be pretty cool too. This dude is literally waxing his car now. Or like shaving it. I'm not a car guy. I don't know what's happening. He has like a motorized machine that he's scrubbing the car with. Like what even is my life right now? Only when I decide to upload content for the first time do I get this kind of neighbor. Playing music loudly on his phone while outside, directly outside my window. Feet outside my window. This is amazing. I guess it is like noonish. I should go in. I don't get it though. It's literally every day. Like weekday, weekend, it does not matter. He is out here starting his car and shutting off his car in like 30-minute intervals. Car people in the comments, let me know what's happening. I don't know. I'm 2 years behind on an oil change in my car. And honestly, I think if I try to turn on my car and it doesn't turn on, that's just it. Like, I think I'm just done having a vehicle. I live in a small town. I can walk places. Basically anywhere I would ever need is like less than 2 miles away. Now let's see how it does against 2 crystal dudes. These guys are very polite. They like to wait their turn. Again, I'm not sure how much Sacred Blade is doing. I'll assume it's a little bit, but I can't imagine it's doing like a ton of carrying. I think I'm still at like a +4 on these weapons. Yeah, +4. So I am under leveled, or under upgraded, I guess, for this region. Isn't that just such a fun combo? Like, man, that's just fun. That's a fun weapon right there. I don't understand how someone could play these games, but only like once. Like, these games are so meant for replaying them over and over and trying out different weapons and different routes and all that. Like, I can't imagine playing through, especially a game like Elden Ring, where it's like all open and you most certainly did not find every area on your first go. Like, how can you play this game once and then be like, that was good, and then not do it ever again? Oh, Twin Knight Swords. There it is. I didn't expect it to be that easy. Can we even use it? Yeah, we can. Okay, cool. I didn't know if we'd have enough strength. I guess I forget that we have the Radagon Sword Seal, so that helps a lot. And then literally right here is the next Twin Blade. I'm gonna skip it for now, just to spread them out a little bit. But like on the map, we just got ours right here. The other one's right here. Like, really? You didn't think that one out a little bit more? With your spacing? Go ahead and grab the last sacred tier for this area, get us to +10. Probably go into the capital, get some bell bearings. Then, we might fight Radahn just so we can get to the grinding place a little bit sooner. Or wait, no, we don't need that for the grinding place. We can do that now, actually. Since we're here, we have access to a part necessary for the quest to teleport to Mohg's palace. It's so strange because I never usually use that skip to get to the grinding spot early, but it's just in the context of a run like this, you kind of need to, just so you can level for all these different kinds of weapons, just to spread your stats out a little bit more. Especially since I usually only do like pure strength or pure dex. I don't do as many like quality builds or like holy strength or int dex or something like that, just because I don't like leveling a ton. Because like with strength, you only really need to put it to like 60 or 80 since you just two-hand it for the bonus. So I can like very comfortably beat the game at like level like 110 or something. Be at like pretty much max damage. God, it's so obnoxiously loud out there. Why did it have to be a car guy that moves in, you know? Literally any other hobby would have been so much better. We couldn't get like a musician just playing guitar like super loud. I wouldn't even have to edit in background music, you know? I would I would just have my mic turned up and then he supplies free music for me. Dude, if I was still working nights, I would be so pissed off. If I was trying to sleep right now, oh my god. Oh, we also need to go back and get Godrick's Great Rune. I forgot to do that. All right, it is 30 minutes later, and he is still out there giving his car a haircut, or whatever the fuck that is. I might have to just, like, not record for a minute. You know what? It sounds exactly the same as when, like, an airplane is overhead and you're outside. Like, that kind of humming sound that, like, you kind of like quietly notice at first and then it gets louder and louder as it gets to be like overhead. That's like the exact sound it is, only it's like the loudest point during that. I bet Commander Niall is weak to fire. We could probably go do that since we have that fire ash. I think I'm gonna go do like my normal stuff. I'm gonna grab Godrick's Great Rune, get all the materials and stuff that I can, upgrade everything. And I think I'm just gonna stop the recording until he's done, because I have a feeling he's going to be out there for a few hours. It really sucks. I wanted to get like a 13-hour recording session done today. Oh, wait. Is it over? Oh my god, it's over. Oh, we're so back. We are good to go, ladies and gentlemen. Nope, and it's back. It's immediately back. God, that sucks. Alright, well, see you later, I guess. Well, welcome back. He has finally stopped messing with his car, and it is 6 hours later. So, that's cool. I didn't need, you know, this whole day to record or anything. It's fine. Basically, I did about yay much. I didn't fight any major bosses. The only bosses I killed were, like, the Scadutree Avatars. Those are the only things with a health bar I've killed. I haven't even killed, like, Wolf of Radagon or anything. So all that's good. I did the quest to go to the grind place. I grinded for a little bit, and this is the new weapon. Both of our weapons are at a plus 12 now. It is as high as we can buy the smithing stones for, so that is all good. I keep forgetting to change out my flask, my physic. I've yet to do that. I will do a moveset showcase after this, but I did want to point out that in terms of base damage, this weapon is factually better in every way. Something could be said with scaling, but just pure base damage before scaling's taken into account, this new one is better. We're gonna go ahead and do the side quest for the Rotten Winged Insignia, I believe it's called, just so we can get that successive attack bonus, as this is like the weapon type to get it for, even more so than like curved swords in my opinion. Fuck you, Commander O'Neill. And then to advance that quest line, we're gonna need to kill the Godskin over here, which we need to do anyway, because they have a twin blade. So we'll do that momentarily, but I guess first we should show off the weapon, since I never technically did that. I just think it's the same as the others, so I didn't think it would be necessary, but for the sake of, consistency, we'll go ahead and show that off. Two-handed moveset. This is charged heavy. And uncharged heavy. Then one-handed. And it has the same Ash of War as the original, but I put Flaming Strike on it because I like Flaming Strike. Now, we get to do something which is dual wield, just for a moment. We're going to go ahead and throw on both of these, and then I believe the one-handed yes is going to be the same, but just like we were using paired weapons in DS3, if you hit L1, you will have a completely unique attack chain where you fight with both of them. So that is something. Then you will have your jumping L1s that do... I think that hits 6 times. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think that'll hit for 6. So basically, you go and throw on the Claw Talisman, and every single one of those hits are going to get like a 10 or 15% extra damage. And then if you have Talisman you get for completing Millicent's questline, you're going to instantly proc your damage bonus. I forget if I fully explained it yet or not. With successive attacks, your attack power is going to go up. So basically what that means is the more you hit them, the more damage you're going to do. But there's a cooldown to where if you don't attack them in a certain amount of time, your attack goes back down. So it's just basically rewarding a super hyper aggressive playstyle, or just use a weapon that attacks really fast like this in order to instantly get that proc and keep it going. So I guess since they are equally leveled, we can use both. I do think this is a case of Daniel and Cooler Daniel. I really think that the Twin Knight Swords are just going to be better than Twin Blade. We can see here the physical damage is 206, and on the original, it is 201. Now, our scaling is better also on Twin Knight Sword, but that's also because I have invested a lot into strength. With Radagon's Talisman equipped, I have 36 strength and 28 dex. So we were going to see more from that anyway. But also just to get it out there, they're both at the same level, and this one has a C scaling for strength, and poor old Twin Blade is still stuck at DD. So that is not very good. So yeah, we can have this run for a little bit. Maybe for like one more boss, I'll have just this one, just so we can properly see damage. Because like I know the damage, I've been using it for the past 5 hours, but obviously you were not there for that. So I still need to show that. Hello, I keep forgetting to change my physic. He's actually going to show us the weapon we're going to be using as he's using it. I find it weird that Millicent doesn't come and help you with this fight, because you give her the prosthetic and she's like, oh cool, I can help you fight, but she just doesn't. The only thing she helps you fight, I think, is the Gargoyle near the snowfield. She'll just be here after you kill him. Be like, hey, what's up? I'm here too. Okay. Let's try using both of them now that we've got a death out of the way. You gotta love that jump attack. We'll go for a flaming strike just to get something imbued here. There we go. Well, that didn't actually imbue our weapon. Never mind. Yeah, dual wielding these is very strong. I don't want to say intended, but it just feels right to dual wielding these. Like, I don't know why. Like, I would feel weird dual wielding, like, straight swords. That feels like kind of cursed to me. But like curved sword, or just like any like pure dex weapon, like a lot of Twin Blades are, I feel pretty at home dual wielding them, I guess. But anyway, we have obtained a new Twin Blade already. This is going to be the Godskin Peeler. I thought this was a somber weapon, but I can put an ash on it, so I'm not sure. I might just be stupid. I mean, I know I'm stupid, but this might confirm that I'm stupid. Looks like this. Wow, yeah. And this is going to be your attack chain, two-handed. Heavy attack charged. You're going to do that little poke at the end, which I really like, just to emphasize that pierce damage that you do with Twin Blades. And then obviously that's the same, but it just feels more pokey, just because one side isn't a poke. See, it does that slash. Then one-handed. Just the tap heavy is going to do that strong poke, which is really cool. I'm not sure if the others do that. Yeah, so the tap heavy is different. On normal Twin Blades, it's still a slash, but Godskin, it is specifically a poke. So that is like guaranteed pierce damage, which is really nice. And then kind of the main part of this weapon and why it is used a lot is the Ash of War. Black Flame is very strong, even given my slander of the Godslayer Greatsword, Rest its soul. It is undeniably a strong attribute, and is why I imagine people love that weapon as much. But hey, there she is. Could have used your help there, buddy. So I guess now we go to round table and see if I was just a complete dumbass and thought this was somber for no reason. Or if this is like a weird somber weapon you can put stuff on. Yeah, it's just normal smithing stones. That's my bad. I could have sworn this was a somber weapon. All right, Radahn time. We're going to be using Twin Knight swords. For just a little bit. They feel kind of basic, so I might actually just dual wield those first two together, just because they don't have a lot of personality on their own. And I once again forgot to change out my physic. That's super cool. Love that for me. Kick his ass. Kick his ass. Almost killed him before he jumped. Bam. See you, Radahn. Alright, I think we can do twin gargoyles now. I think that was the prerequisite to that. Get some Larval Tears while we're at it. We're not gonna do that right now, but I think we can if we wanted to, is the thing. We can go do Alexander's thing, because obviously we're going to be needing Alexander's Talisman for the Euphoria later. Still very excited for that. We're not going to be getting that for a long time. That is one of the last weapons you get in the entire game. I'm pretty sure you get that right before Needle Knight Loretta and her allies fight. Yeah, I think I made up my mind. I want to use both of these. Just kind of feels right. We might quality infuse them just so we can get the strength and dex. I just don't know if like how high it needs to be for that to be worth it, because it cuts into your base damage when you infuse weapons. I don't know how good the scaling actually needs to be for that to be effective. I'm going to change out my physic right now. Thank you and thank you. Okay. Okay, so let's go back to the round table. We're gonna get our another talisman slot. We'll go and throw on Claw Talisman, because obviously I cannot imagine Flaming Strike's going to be good against you, sir. But you know, we'll use it anyway, just because we're cool. Boom. Right into lava, just as intended. Man, that doesn't do much damage. I should put on Bleed. If I die to this guy, I'm going to put on Bleed. Because dual Bleed Twin Blades is like the goal with Twin Blades, you know? I just don't have Arcane. I mean, look at that damage, man. What kind of armor set would go well with this kind of build? I'm thinking probably just all-reliable Raging Wolf. We did that for a lot of last run, too. I'm not really sure. And yes, we do get a little teeny tiny more benefit for having these quality infused. So they're each going to be CC scaling. But let's try something funny. Let's do this. Boom. That's fire infused. And now let's do this with the other one. And now that one is holy infused. Well, actually I need to replay this one because that's how that works. There we go. Okay, you got to do it in a weird order. But now both of them are infused with a different element, which is really freaking cool. Look at that, baby. That damage. Oh yeah, that's some good stuff right there. That's some good stuff. I think I still need to get an Ice Ash of War so I can infuse the weapon with ice, and I need a magic one and a lightning. I got one of them that I thought was, yeah, I got Ice Spear, which I thought also coated the weapon in ice, but it does not. It just simply shoots ice out of the tip of your weapon. I mean, it's cool, but that's not really what I'm going for. I want it to like coat my weapon in something. Right, Loretta? We're gonna get that one infused. And that one infused. Okay, we are good to go. And that's the wrong drink. And I get hit anyway. That's fine. Man, look at that damage. That's good damage. I think this is the first time I've done a build like this. Like, I've done twin blade builds, but I don't usually do like... Whoo, god damn. I don't usually do like dual wielding both of them different infusions. That is very strong. Oh, but magic's overpowered. Nerf magic, obviously. I have a history of being magic's #1 defender on that it's actually not overpowered, but you know, that's neither here nor there. All right, just to showcase this, I went ahead and grabbed the Lightning Slash. So aside from magic, we should have pretty much all of the elements that we need, except bleed, but we can do bleed through other means, but that's okay. This is Lightning Slash. Boom. And we're gonna go put on Flaming Slash. And then here's the dream, fire and lightning. This is peak fantasy, you know? Dual double blades equals 4 blades, each imbued with its own special element. Damn it. It's peak fantasy, guys. You gotta understand. You don't understand how special this is to me. Oh, man. It's not a playthrough unless you get one shot by the fucking somersaulting dudes. So unless the game doesn't work how I think it works, I don't think there's any reason to do split damage if you can just have your weapon be coated in an element instead. Because with split damage, it's most of the time like in half, right? Like instead of doing, let's say, 300 damage physical, it does like, I don't know, 170 physical, 170 an element, which on paper is like, oh cool, that's just a net more damage. Why wouldn't I do that? But in reality, how the fuck did you get in here, my man? Excuse me, leave. I've never seen that before. Okay. Yeah, when you put it like this, you still get all of your physical damage plus the element on top of it as a bonus. It doesn't replace or nerf anything, to my knowledge. I think that's how that works. I don't think it cuts into your physical to do this. Now, granted, it's going to give you less benefit. It's going to give you less fire damage overall, or whatever damage you infuse it with. But the thing is the resistance is what kills split damage for me. The moment you fight something that's resistant to that type, you're going to be doing way less damage than you would have to just uninfuse it to begin with. Just have it be pure physical. So 99% of the time, I would much rather have a skill like Flaming Strike just hard slotted onto the weapon I'm using to get fire damage, as opposed to infusing it with fire and then having like Lion's Claw or something as a skill, you know? But I do suppose I could be wrong about how that works. That is totally possible. It might end up cutting your physical like it does with an infusion, but I don't think so. And you know, the other con with that is that it's temporary. I have to keep using Flaming Strike to keep the fire going. It only lasts for probably like 30 seconds or something. But I feel like that's kind of enough, because using the ash itself does damage. Like, really, it being infused with fire afterwards is a bonus. Like look at this. I throw fire out and then slash my weapon through the fire. To me, it being infused with fire at the end is like a little cherry on top. But in my case, I use that as the main selling point, is that lingering fire you will get afterward. I'm just a big fan of that kind of thing. I wonder if I could infuse both my weapons and then just charge straight into the boss room, if it'll still be there. What do I want my talisman to be? I kind of bum rushed this like I had a plan, and I did not have a plan. I don't really have another talisman. I could go and get that stamina one. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that actually. We're gonna try our super sneaky strat of using our stuff out here, because they stay when you sit in a site of grace, I believe. Yep, and then we're gonna run into the room. So our FP filled all the way back up. Hopefully our buffs stay so we can do some damage. Don't disappear before we get there. I didn't have time to pop my physic, but that's okay. I believe he's not resistant to fire or lightning, so that's gonna be some decent damage. I also still have my Radagon talisman on. We are gonna be taking a little more damage than we otherwise would. All right, let's go ahead and reapply this one. Big damage. There we go. I think that's pretty much game over for you. Yep, that was a pretty fast Morgott. Pretty fast. Now, can you just picture, if you saw my last video where I used Dancer's weapons, imagine how good that weapon could have been if it was fire lightning and not fire magic. That's just absolutely tragic, man. And if it wasn't split damage, it was just fully genuine physical, but with like maybe using the skill, the weapon skill is what turned the weapon's elemental, just so you could do more than like 0 damage at any given time. God, that sounds so good. Okay, so I believe coming up, we have another fight we need to do. If it's what I'm thinking of, if we take an elevator here, it's either here or the other snowfield, but I think it's this one, that we need to kill the gargoyle over here. We're gonna get another weapon for it, I believe, at least. And we should have an option to summon. And I think I'll do that just because why not? Yeah, right here. I've never done this fight before. Come on, Millicent. We got this. Black Blade Kindred. That weapon right there, that belongs to me, kind sir. Never mind, you can keep it. 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 I changed my mind. Oh, I don't do like any damage. That sucks. All right, Millicent, come on. We got it. Yeah. Yeah, 1800 damage. That takes so much FP to use. Oh, I'm completely out of FP. I used it twice. It's not even at half health. Ah, shit. There we go. I might need to allocate a flask for FP because this thing chews through FP. It's weird seeing Millicent here. I like only see her in the fight where she fights all of her sisters. Pop. Good job, Millicent. You did it. Oh, bye. I thought I could talk to you or something. All right, Gargoyle's Black Blade and Gargoyle's Black Axe. Okay. I wonder if this is just like a straight improvement. We can't even use it. For the normal ones. The normal twin blades. Because there's Gargoyle's twin blades and then like the black Gargoyle twin blades. So I assume you're supposed to get the other ones first. I just haven't gone and done that yet because I hate that fight. But we'll see. I got a lot of runes for that. I should probably do that more often. Okay, I think I'm going to book it for all of the weapon upgrade materials so we can go get these upgraded some more. I'm gonna go try to get the gargoyles, or I'll try to remember, because this is probably going to be it for this recording session. I wish I could have gotten more done today, but making it to Snowfield isn't necessarily like a super little amount or anything, but I don't know. I always feel like I could be doing more with these things. I feel like I'm experienced enough in these games where I should be able to speedrun it pretty fast. I get kind of disappointed when the reality comes in. Yeah, this will probably be it for me for today. In terms of what you'll see, I'll be playing for another like hour. I'm gonna go grab some upgrade materials, all that kind of stuff. And I'll see ya tomorrow, where we're going to fight hopefully twin gargoyles, Mohg, maybe do some DLC stuff, probably Faramazula to get even more upgrade materials, and yeah, see ya. Hello again, everybody. Hello. I did a little mining off camera, so to say, and I am level 86 now, so we should be good. I finally took off Radagon's Source Seal and just put on the prosthesis wear just for the dexterity as a kind of replacement. You should probably be taking off Radagon's Source Seal by the time you get to mountaintops anyway, so past the time we were supposed to really be doing that. I figured we'd head toward twin gargoyles, and I know I'm just going to lose, but I have a little bit of hope since this weapon does a lot of pierce damage. I also came to some realizations. So this weapon comes with the ash that you want to have on it built in, which means we can't swap out the ash to infuse it. It's very hard to explain why that's a problem if you don't like already know why. But basically, to infuse a weapon to scale with certain stats, you need to first place an Ash of War onto it. You need to place a Ash of War onto it, and then you can change the infusion from there. But since we want to keep the Ash of War that comes on it by default, we can't like override it with a new one, the kind of scaling that we want. So basically what needs to happen is you can get this Ash later on in the game, but it comes way later. You get it from fighting Godskin Duo, like the actual duo. So we can get it, it's just gonna be way late. But it does have like a C scaling index right now, so it's not like it's bad by any means. It's just not like exactly perfect for our purposes. I thought it'd be kind of cute if we did like an all spirit summons run, where I use like every spirit summon in the game and see if I can find something better than Mimic Tier. It can't really work because I think there's multiple instances where you need to make a decision about which spirit you want. Like, you can only get one per playthrough. So realistically, I can't do that for a run. And I don't really have like a cheat mod like I do for DS3 in order to get items that are otherwise unobtainable. I'm sure I can get one, but since I have the Great Rune Overhaul mod, I'd need to find a mod that can work without a .bin file. Alrighty, let's go ahead and take another death. There's no shot I am surviving this. I mean, our damage is good, but that's just gonna make it more embarrassing when I die. I fucking suck at gargoyles. I like never fight them. Like, until I do these runs, like, I fight a lot of things I don't usually bother with. Because, like, there's not I think to my knowledge, a single required gargoyle fight. I think literally all of them are optional. I also really want to make progress in story just so I can get access to like the Millicent talismans and stuff. That was a bad idea. I tried to use the ash. Huge frame drops. What the fuck? My card is newer than this game. What? What is happening? That is really funny when that happens, though. All my fellow PC players out there. Like, when your graphics card is newer than the game that you're playing and it's still chugging. Like, bro, I'm using future technology and it still can't run. I should have put on the lightning ash because I'm not going to get much use out of the fire run. Because A, it's slow, and B, we're sitting in water. And I will say, I've been using this ash a little bit just off camera while I like either grind or just explore random areas without fighting any bosses. And the ash is really good against like a ton of trash mobs, but I think that's kind of what I said about the Godslayer's ash as well. I just don't find a lot of use with slow, high damage dealing ashes like that, because like the damage is undoubtedly nice, but they take so long to come out that it's like, is it really worth it? I mean, the ash isn't like super long if you just use it, like if you don't hold the button down, but that's like where your damage is coming from. I find them hard to use for at least my playstyle. Maybe for like other people. Because like, look at that damage. That's great damage. But look how much damage he just did to me because of that. Because I had to stand there idly. I guess I just prefer the quick ashes, like unsheath and like standoff and that kind of thing. Because like when you hold it down, it's that little bit where you just stand there before you do that final stamp that just kind of leaves you open. And I'm not a huge fan of that. Granted, with smaller mobs, the tornado action usually stuns the enemy, so they have to sit there and eat the entire combo. For like boss mobs, like they don't give a shit. They're gonna walk right through that. So I guess just grab like Bullgoat Talisman, get like the Bullgoat armor, and then just tank it? Like, I don't know. It seems kind of like a band-aid solution to me. Oh yeah, our weapon is plus 18 now since I went and got upgrade materials. I forgot to mention that. And what you take a look at this. Granted, they might be lower because I can't wield it yet, but notice how Gargoyle's Twin Blade is all physical, and then Gargoyle's Black Blades is split damage with Holy. I don't like that. That's not looking good. I just have a hunch that the black version isn't going to be as good as the normal. We'll take a look at the moveset for the normal since we can wield it. I think it looks pretty solid. I think the blades look shorter, but that might just be my imagination. Pretty standard attack chain. Charged heavies, and then we'll do uncharged. Alright. And then Spinning Slash is the standard ash, which is pretty standard. One-handed, looking pretty similar. Yep. Pretty much all the same all around. The Twin Blades already have a very distinct attack chain combo. They don't really need to be that different from one another. Yeah, I'm gonna assume this is probably a Titanite, or I said Titanite, I told you I was gonna do it. I assume this is gonna be a Smithing Stone and not a Somber Smithing Stone weapon, so I'll go ahead and get that upgraded, and then we can try to knock out, Fire Giant? I think we could probably do Fire Giant. Alright, Alexander, Come on, buddy. I was debating if I actually wanted to go and do Millicent stuff first, but I feel like I want the upgrades to my weapons before I go and finish her quest, because I always have trouble with it, defending her from all those NPCs. And honestly, the tree spirit guarding them too. We are not doing very much damage though. That's very unfortunate for us. Yeah, we're not doing much damage at all. That pierce damage is better. I guess I gotta go for, like, jumping R2s. I mean, this is the phase where he, like, takes more damage, too. So this is not a great omen. Alexander might be carrying us here. We actually staggered him. That doesn't happen very often in phase 1 for me. Where do I stand to not take damage? Riddle me this, Batman. Oh yeah, this is the kind of damage you like to see on Fire Giant. Actual minuscule amount of damage. That's kind of why I thought it might be a good idea to get Millicent stuff first, just because you do a lot of repeated swings for not a lot of damage with this guy. God, this damage sucks. And it's not the weapon's fault, it's just Fire Giant. Keep that in mind. This is just how every Fire Giant goes. You do no damage for 10 minutes and then he falls over. I'm like running out of heals. I do not want this to be a close fight. I hate how much he rolls too. I mean, it's a very good spectacle, but that can be said for like every single boss in this game. Alexander, buddy, where you at? Oh, there he is. Hit him, Alexander. You got it. Yeah! Common Alexander W. Good job, buddy. Thank you for shaving 2 minutes off of that fight. I greatly appreciate it. That fight did actually take like 10 minutes. There's nothing really stopping me from getting the Black Tornado that I thought was an exclusive for the Godskin weapon. I can just put it on this weapon that has the better damage. Would that not just be an exclusively better weapon? I mean, you're kind of missing out on, I don't know, like the unique moveset, I guess, but I mean, if you're just in it for the numbers, I think this is kind of it. Hey guys, recognize this? Ouch, ouch, ouch. How have you hit me with that fireball every time? These guys love using that fire this time. What the fuck? Hello? Hello? I was never done that before. This was a bad idea. I'm not doing any damage. Well, I tried using the ash. That did not work out. Let's try using it now. Well, kinda. He's gonna jump right over that shit. I already know it. Yep. Oh, this is a good time. I mean, granted, if there's a boss to not use that on, it's Godskin, since it's like their move. Very disappointed in the damage that does. Oh boy. I'm gonna choke it right at the end. That sucks. Oh, maybe not. Okay. That was way too close for comfort. I don't know what I was doing. But yeah, Black Flame Tornado. There it is. So what we can do now is go down to Ashes of War, Godskin Peeler, and then we can just re-equip this, and then we can put it to quality. So it's a BB scaling. So we're going to lose 47 from our base damage, but it's going to be way more than that because we gain, way more for our scaling damage. I also really wanted to do a scythe run, but there is like a shockingly little amount of scythes in this game. I think there's like 6, with like 4 of them being base game. I might be a little bit wrong on that, but it was less than there are Twin Blades for sure. It's always a class that I assume to be more than it is. I'm dead. Never mind. That shit will absolutely one-shot you. Okay, we can probably swap out Gold Scarab since we're not like grinding or anything. Just keep that on. So our little twirly twirl is going to be doing a lot more damage now. Hello? Welcome to the game. I don't know how people play PvP in these games. Like, fighting other player enemies is so annoying. There we go. Cool. 2 birds, 1 stone. Purifying Crystal Tear and Eleonora's Pole Blade. we do need Arcane to use this, so I might respec twice. We'll use up all of these while we can, and then what I'll do is respec into Bleed, so we can go ahead and use this weapon, and I'll probably convert one of these into bleed damage as well, so we can like dual wield bleed twin blades, since that's like peak twin blade action, right? And then finally we can respec into holy, so I can use this in the Euphoria. I think that sounds good. All right, I actually forgot we can't respec until we do the area, so we're gonna go ahead and go Rennala. Not even close. Okay. I forgot if I said this bit of trivia last time, but this guy is actually an unused boss in Dark Souls 3. That's the same model as the Sleeping Wolf of Farron, I believe it's called. Wolf of Farron. Now, I don't think the original was going to use magic, but it was planned to be a boss, and then for like time constraints, they cut it and just turned it into like a covenant. You guys want to see something funny? That's funny. I don't think we really need to go back and rest or anything. That seems a little overkill. Like, we're gonna be okay. We've also only died 4 times, which is pretty cool. There we go. Phase 2. Not as good as our Colossal Sword run, but that's kind of to be expected. It's the best weapon type in the game. I mean, obviously still non-existent difficulty, but that is pretty decent. Okay, I made some last-minute changes to the eventual loadout we're gonna have. Instead of using gargoyles with blood affinity, I thought that'd be good because it did the most base damage, right? But what would end up happening is, since it's a strength weapon, I would have to level strength, dex, and arcane, because this weapon in our right hand, the new one, the Eleonora's pole blade, it scales primarily with dex, actually. It's C dex and then D arcane, but you still want to level arcane as if it was higher, because that's how you get your added blood loss. So instead of leveling all 3 stats, I decided to go with Godskin Peeler and then make it occult, which makes it a B arcane and then D dex. I could have also done it blood infusion, but I figured we would just put blood blade on it, so we could just start off doing blood blade, which would make it bloody, and then we would just swap back to this. So be like that. And then we can get, what is it called, like seppuku, something like that, to coat it in blood. And then we can get like the blood talisman and increase that. So I think we'll do that before Mohg, is we'll get all that stuff ready. I do need to level it a little bit, since I wasn't really expecting to use it this much. And I already leveled the gargoyles up. So, rest in peace me. Now I get to sit here and grind for another 10,000 years. Alright, I think the Lord of Blood talisman is in here. I'm not like 1,000% sure, but like decently sure. I'm Priest of Blood. If this guy doesn't have it, I got no clue where it's at. What a fight. Oh, I also decided to just do a standard blood infusion instead of cold. There we go. Since we just get that passive bleed buildup, it's just way better. I don't know what I was thinking. So now we could have that on, which increases attack power when blood loss happens. And I believe in the Great Rune Overhaul mod, the passive effect for Mohg's Great Rune is that effect as well. So thanks to the mod, we're also going to get a buff from that. So I think the only thing we have left to do is we'll slot that in. We'll get that. Maybe we'll swap out Green Turtle for Millicent's, and then we're gonna be an absolute monster with this damage. Successive attack bonus, more for our weapon art on this weapon, which I actually haven't shown off yet, so I should do that. Two-handed, it's gonna be the same pretty much. Heavy attack. That looks a little different. I actually really like that. And then one-handed. Pretty much the same. Just tapping it. Alright, cool. And then for its Ash of War, it's going to be Blood Blade Dance. We're going to go ahead and use just one tap right here. And then if we do the full thing, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. That's going to basically instantly bleed proc anything that we want it to, in combination with just dual-wielding these things. It's going to be absolutely crazy. Like, how many hits that jump light attack is brutal. So, it's going to be a fun time for sure. Alright, I reckon it's about time for good old Commander O'Neill. We'll see how he does against these weapons here. I can't imagine I can get the blood proc off these guys, right? Since they're, like, not physical beings. Okay. I hope this guy can bleed. It'd be very sad if he couldn't. There we go. Another bleed proc. And that's game. That might be the fastest I have ever killed Gaius. I'm gonna be, or not Gaius, O'Neill. Oh, you can bet your sweet bippy that guy's back out there working on his car. Good God, man. I don't get it. Like, what's the thing with cars? I never got that as a hobby. It's not really like computers where, you know, you make it faster and then like things are better. Cause like the speed limit doesn't change. Like, oh, I got this engine, I can go from 0 to 60, you know, 2 seconds faster now. Like, I don't know. It kind of seems kind of dangerous to me. I'm not a risk-taking kind of guy. Loretta, fall victim to my double blades. Can we not die, please? Thank you. Do you not bleed? That'd be very odd. There we go. Damn. I'll try to get kooky with it. Using an ash, that is not the play. Is that the first boss death we've had? I forget. I know the first two was like, one of them was getting stuck on a fence while fighting an NPC, because of course it is. And the second one was falling off trying to get back to the NPC. She's just a little too mobile for using my ash. Damn, that does a lot of damage. I could also use some better armor too. I really like this armor, like, stylistically. It's just not like the best armor, like, armor-wise. Who's ready to die to this thing for 15 minutes until we can do Millicent's quest? I am. Ow. God, this thing sucks. It's crazy how short the base game feels now since we have the DLC. Like, if I was doing just a base game run, we'd be pretty much almost done. We have like Maliketh, Godfrey, and then Elden Beast, and then like Malenia, and that's it. That's kind of nuts to think about. Okay, it turns out that physics the only thing we needed. That was really what was holding me back. Right, now that that guy's dead, we can join Millicent here. We could also kill her and get a different talisman. And that one, it does the same thing, but a little bit weaker. And then also gives you some points in dexterity. But I think we're just gonna go with this one to be safe. Just because not all of our weapons use dex. We have some strength ones as well. Although that one is much easier to get because you just join these other NPCs in killing Millicent. Oh, we're also fat rolling. That sucks. Can you not kill her like immediately, guys? What the fuck? You were turned the complete opposite direction. What do you mean? You cannot change direction mid-charge. That's such bullshit. Like, what? Also, you could technically say that I didn't die because I keep my runes and it's just like a summon encounter, but I'm gonna keep the death counter going. Jesus Christ! I like how you can tell through my runs that most of my deaths are just NPC fights. I think that's really funny and is very telling. Like, what's harder, killing all of the demigods or 4 random people? Also, Amy is such like a normal sounding name compared to everyone else in this game. It's really funny. Amy third sister. Like, really? Like, just Amy? Bro, please. Please, no, man. Fuck. Does that count? I think that counts. Yeah, woo, we did it. Good job. I just doubled my death count because of dumb NPC fights. I love it when that happens. There we go. I got a yippee. All right, we can throw that onto our last slot. This is gonna be our loadout, pretty much the whole rest of the game. And then we'll just sub this one out when we're not using something that has bleed. Smoke time. Come on, buddy. Damn it. I already got a bleed proc. I'm doing good damage even while he's doing me heal. Whoops, I forget the floor's bad. Oh shit, I could have died. Well, that's probably the fastest Mohg kill I've had. I think Twin Blades are pretty good. I don't know. Alright, well we can go to DLC. I think we need to kill Rellana before we can get the first of the DLC Twin Blades, so we won't be doing that quite yet. And keep in mind, our stats are kind of dog shit, actually. I have more strength than I need. I could probably take some out of mind and endurance to further put into the dex and arcane stats. But having 41 dex and 35 arcane is kind of low. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and fight Rykard now. I'll probably end up just skipping past it since this is nothing new. You've seen the Rykard fight before, you have seen the Rykard fight. Man, I love this attack. Well, I first tried him. That's pretty cool. Well, I think we should absolutely clap this dude sitting outside his arena first, I guess. See what this damage is looking like. Half health. We just got our proc that we needed. There's that. And pretty simple. Oh, I forgot we gotta do Placidusax as well. I always forget about Placidusax. I haven't been keeping up with my notebook. I gotta start writing this shit down. This is why I do that. Alright, I still got a lot of runes on me, but I don't feel like grinding to top it off to get an extra level out of it, so I just hope I don't die. And we just had a really big power spike by getting 3 great runes. We should be doing a lot more damage. I almost had a hitless phase 1. That was pretty cool. Please don't fall off the edge. That would hurt my feelings. I don't know why I was hoping for like a bleed proc. Oh, because there was a bleed proc right there. If I would have landed that, that actually would have been sick. Damn. Well, that could have looked really cool, but that's okay.
Lord, what a sad state of affairs.
But god damn. Bro shielded so he could get a heal off. That's so cringe. No. Why does he talk so long after disappearing? Like, I get it if he was, like, laying there, like, dying, but, like, he already died. Like, how is he speaking? He doesn't have a body anymore. Bro just disintegrated right in front of me. Ooh, thought I could get another bleed proc there. Yikers. I'm gonna try to use the Ash real quick. Ha! That's funny. Yeah, don't get me wrong, the Ash is really good if you have like a big opening like that, but it's kind of hard to slot into a fight that doesn't. Like, normally that would have been really hard to pull off in that fight. I just got lucky that I used his, like, big stomp move that usually takes a minute to be used. I cannot wait to get absolutely clapped by Bale, like, 40 times. Like, I know the base game bosses way, way better than the DLC bosses. Just obviously, I've had more playtime on base game. It's gonna be nuts seeing the death count go from, like, single digits to, like, borderline triple because of DLC. Like, I'm for sure grabbing all the Skidoo fragments, but they can only do so much when I'm so ass. Well, I'm gonna spend the next probably hour just running around and collecting all the Skidoo that I can without fighting any bosses. It's kind of a drag, to be honest. I'm not sure how else they would do it with, like, balancing levels with like DLC scaling, because I think they were afraid people were gonna hop in here with their level like 400 character, since it had been so long since the game initially released, since like the other Souls DLCs usually launched like pretty soon after the base game did. So I wanted to do a separate leveling thing, but what that translates to is now I get to spend multiple hours just running to every corner of the map and collecting these fragments. Some of them are just off the beaten path, and some of them you really gotta dig for, or you get hit like that, take a ton of damage. That dude hit me harder than Maliketh did. Granted, he's like a big guy, you know. This is by no means like a grunt, but it just kind of think it says a lot. I know people of like, you know, fist only, no Skidoo level 1 on a dance pad beating this, but I'd consider myself a very average player for the amount of time that I've put into the game. I'd say I'm above average in terms of skill compared to just like the masses, since this game sold like 50 million copies or something stupid. But like compared to the people that have 1,200 hours like I do, I'd say calling myself average is kind of generous. Pretty sure I'm like below average considering the playtime. I mean, I did first try Maliketh and Godfrey, but I don't know. All right, let's see if we can manage to not get one shot this time. That'd be really cool. Alright, well, back to your regularly scheduled hour-long grind for Shadow Blessings, I guess. I figured I'd come and kill the Knight of Solitude while I finish up getting all this stuff. I've been pumping stamina a lot, so I want to see if I can fit, like, any amount of his armor on. Because I'm, like, level 7 on my Shadow Fragment stuff, so I'm still taking a decent amount of damage from stuff I feel like I should probably not be. Just want to try to improve that as much as I realistically can. I'm not taking a ton of damage from this guy, probably because he's, like, the first... Well, never mind. You know what? I'm gonna shut my dumb ass up and just stop talking. I think that'd be the best for all of us involved. I actually want to do like a breakdown of every on-screen death that I have to see how many of them are NPC fights. It's gotta be like almost half, right? There we go. All right, how much of this can I put on? Not even one. Okay, that answers my question. Well, that's about it for Skidoo fragments I can get from what I've explored so far. So I think it's time to go kill Rellana. I know there's a way to go around Rellana, but I don't know. It's like a long way around where like it takes a minute to do it, and it feels like kind of unintentional. Not that I'm like such a purist and, you know, I can't do it, it's cheating. I don't know, it's just kind of inconvenient is the main thing. Hello, Rennala, or Rellana, goddammit. Your name is on the screen, I'm getting it wrong. Damn! I just got fucking blasted. I mean, I was doing well. I don't know how I'm just now realizing this long into a run, but Eleanor's full blade is split damage with fire. I am so stupid. It was also raining, so the damage was even less so. It just doesn't really seem like a weapon that would do fire damage, you know? So I guess it has a more natural pairing with Godskin Peeler than I thought. It's like the particle effects that were coming off of Rellana were like confusing me. I was like, that looks kind of like fire. Yeah, dumbass, because it's fire. It's like blood flame. Damn. Okay, way to shut my dumbass up. I wasn't even talking, and she shut me up. I kind of made that harder than that needed to be. Well, we have access to basically the entire rest of the DLC. God, that view, man. Sometimes you just forget. God, that's beautiful. Okay, we have access to basically the whole rest of the DLC now. I'm gonna go off for another hour, probably closer to 2 this time, collecting the rest of everything, trying to fight trying to avoid every, like, major boss along the way. But first, I think let's go grab our new Twin Blade. I think it's somewhere over here. Grab this map first, that would help. I don't think I'll evade the Flame of Messmer. I think I'm just gonna tank through it, to be honest. You know what I realized through editing, especially with this last video? I say "to be honest" like so much. My vocabulary is pitiful. I gotta stop saying that. I already have not been paying attention to how often I've said it in this video, but if it's any more than like twice, I'm gonna be upset. Oh well. I'm just gonna go through my normal collect stuff routine. If I come across it, I'll unpause the recording and show you. I bet I get it from this guy, since he's, you know, using one. Yep, yeah I do. Okay. Alright, let's see how fast we can melt a golden hippo. I say that with a lot of confidence, but also, now that I know my weapon does fire damage, I'm not so sure. Yeah, okay. About the same as normal. I also did not know that the Black Steel Twin Blade, the one we just got, is also Faith. So this DLC introduces 2 Twin Blades, and both of them are Faith. And we already had one in the base game, so I'm not really sure what the reason behind that was. You know, especially since there's only 6 in the base game, so making like almost half of them Faith scaling is certainly a decision. But okay. You know, I think we should probably finish up the base game then, if we're completely out of non-holy damage options. We might as well just like swap back to an old favorite or something and finish it out strong. God, this fight sucks. Well, I guess killing her before, you know, you can really start is a way to do it. I think I'm gonna collect the Scadutree fragments in the woods area, then I'm gonna go and try to kill Elden Beasts, I guess. Maybe we could fight Malenia with this? That doesn't sound terrible. I think it's about time we do Placidusax, because I forgot about it, and I'm gonna continue to forget about it. But here's the kicker. We're using the default Twin Blade, because it's been a long time. I went ahead and almost fully upgraded it, which means I've all but almost fully upgraded all but one of our weapons. All of them are +9 or +24, except for Twin Knight Sword, because I love grinding. It's my favorite thing on the planet. I don't really know the order of events I want to go from here. I might have to respec, because I'm still using my old stats that were built for, like, you know, Dex Arcane, so all of this strength scaling that I'm getting from this quality weapon's just not here. That did not hit me twice, though. Like, it just didn't. Uh-oh. Those are the best, when you know what's coming and there's nothing you can do about it, you know? Like, you're stuck in an animation and they're charging some, like, giant anime beam. Like, oh, man. That's a tough spot. I'm sneezing. You have to give me a break because I'm sneezing. That's how it works. Well, I'm dead here. That's very unfortunate for me. I think I want to use this weapon for the final boss as well. I think it'd be fitting to use the first weapon against the final boss. So I think I'm going to respec because I have like 3 more larval tiers I could be using, and I should be doing way more damage than that. All right, damage should be much better now. Oh yeah, because we don't have our buffs going yet. That makes sense. There we go. We're doing 4 digits of damage every single jump R2. That's pretty decent for like a kind of fast dex type weapon. I mean, yeah, damage still isn't like great, but this weapon definitely is one of those that you're meant to just replace. You know what I mean? Like it's not meant for that kind of thing. Whoops. Whoops, I also forgot to add my death count from the last one. As I was looking at his lasers about to go off, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna die. All right, I forgot I didn't mark my death from last time. I was just that confident I was gonna die from that. I actually just got one shot. That was at full HP with almost the full set of Solitude armor. One shot. That's crazy. What level am I? 135, 55 Vig. That's nuts, bro. Certifiably bonkers. Okay, take 3. Is this third attempt? It's third or fourth. I don't know. Time is losing meaning. I've been playing this game for like 14 hours. The sun has... It's been set for a while. I've been up since sunrise. I'm a morning guy. I like to be up early. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Guys, I'm stuck. I'm not stuck. I grabbed the Ring of Favor. Or not Ring of Favor. God damn it, you know what I mean. Or maybe you don't. That's my bad. Fuck. No. Son of a bitch. What is that? I've never seen that in my life. Bro, that cut off the music that was so powerful. What the fuck? What is happening? And now we're phase transitioning. Okay. I feel like I'm going insane. If I have to go and level up that last twin blade so I can dual wield this, I'm gonna be so pissed off. If I literally max out every single weapon in this category because I'm just that stupid. Oh my god. Is this guy even weak to lightning? I bet he's not. My brain has decayed so much. That might seem sudden on your guys' perspective here, but just know, collecting all the Skadoo fragments, that's like hours. Like that was, like I said, like 1 or 2 hours. That was like more like 4. Like that takes so long to do. I mean, granted, I wasn't going the whole time. Like I had to like stop and eat, but I feel like I've been playing this game my whole life. This is like one of the longest recording sessions I've ever done. Granted, this is what, this is gonna be my 5th video, so it's not like I have like a huge history or anything. How do people do like 24-hour subathons? Could you please not? Oh, this is where I lose. Well, it was a good run. Till it wasn't. Shit. We survived it? Our chances of winning have increased? Ah, fuck. Bro, what is that? Did he? I swear he didn't use that last time, right? Oh, I'm stupid. Last heal? Oh, shit. Please die. Okay. Whew. Alright, that's gotta be it for today. I can't mentally take much more. I had a heart attack. I thought I wasn't recording that. Damn. Okay. That's gonna get me one of these days, since I'm being more liberal with the pausing the recordings when I'm not saying anything. That's gonna get me. I'm gonna kill like 3 bosses and not realize it, that I'm not recording. We could pump damage, but yeah, sure. We go 48, 48. That's not terrible. So for tomorrow's progress, what do we do? Let's take a look at the notepad. So we still need to use the 3 holy damage options, right? Gargoyles, Black Blades, Black Steel Twin Blade, and the Euphoria. So I think we take out any holy based boss that we can. So I'm thinking we probably gotta go ahead and kill Romina and Messmer so that we can go and get Consort Radahn out of the way, because I don't really want to face tank a Consort Radahn using a holy weapon. That sounds kind of miserable. So we get that. Obviously we kill Radagon, Elden Beast, that stuff, and then we go to, let's see, Malenia, Dancing Lion, Putrescent, Gaius. We should probably kill Gaius sooner rather than later, just so we can get those Skadoo blessings that he has. I'll probably do Scadutree Avatar, Midra, Bale, just knock all those out. Man, I thought I was getting kind of close. This is going to be like another full day of recording. God damn. Well, at least I'm going out of town tomorrow, so it'll give me a nice day to reset my brain. Well, at least most of the day I'll probably try to record when I get home. Maybe not though, who knows? I'll see you when I'm cognitively functioning. Alrighty, it is 2 days later, and I have recovered mentally. Let's go fight the final boss. We're gonna go ahead and do Radagon, and then, probably Malenia, to be honest. I can't imagine that she's weak to, holy damage at all. Damn it. Honestly, the classic twin blades here, not doing too bad. It's just kind of me that sucks right now. Okay. I don't know if I've ever been hit by that in, like, not a grab. Okay, I should probably have saved my physic until Elden Beast, but that's okay. This is gonna be like the most damage per second we're gonna be doing the whole fight. Please don't fly up into the sky. Thank you. Ouch. Why do you run, man? It's so lame. And there he goes. Oh, and there goes my physic. No, don't go up, you son of a bitch. Hello. Stop running. I hate you. Hey, we killed God. Let's go. 50-50 strength dex. That's pretty good for a quality weapon. And we have like 82k, so I'll probably go out and grind out one more level just to round us out. And we'll go fight Malenia. That should be a fun time. I think this weapon kind of showcases why I think generally standard smithing stone weapons are better than somber weapons. Because somber weapons, like, don't get me wrong, they're very strong, but I think the biggest weakness is their lack of versatility. And in a game like this, where you're fighting a very big range of opponents, it's just a lot better, in my opinion, to have the ability to just completely change your damage type, basically. Like Elden Beast is in the water, right? So I could throw on Lightning Slash as my Ash of War and get a free lightning infusion. Now, you could have also done that by choosing a somber weapon that has like innate lightning properties, but that means you're limited when something resists lightning. Like, what do you do against, like, I don't know what resists lightning. I don't know, like Putrescent probably resists it. Like, what are you supposed to do against that? Because now your weapon just isn't going to be doing as much damage as even like a normal weapon with no infusions, right? Because that split damage. And then when you go to fight, I don't know, let's say you have like a fire-infused somber weapon. You go and fight Messmer. Now you're doing half damage because you're using a fire weapon against Messmer. That's just a problem that doesn't exist with weapons like these. Because by all accounts, this weapon is just, like, factually worse than, I don't know, let's say that, like, that Blood Flame Twin Blade, you know? Like Eleonora's, I believe it is. Like, it's all fun in games until you're fighting, like, Fire Giant, you know? And it's like, oh, well, I guess I'm just screwed now. Well, my only source of damage is just cut in half. Alright, for now at least, I think this is the setup we're gonna go ahead and use. I'm not sure if it's how it works, but with Alexander's Talisman here, greatly boosts the attack power of skills. That's your Ash of Wars, you know? Does that apply to the lightning I infuse my weapon with Lightning Slash? I don't know. Because I want to say it's just for that initial thing, right? When you're doing this. Like that Lightning Slash, I bet that's what it means, but what if that also increased the damage of just all of your hits after that? I feel like I should do some testing with that at some point. All right, first try Malenia. Well, that's a tough one right there. Full health Malenia. Okay. This is gonna be a fun way to start a session. It is 9:30 in the morning. I've been awake since 5 in the morning. I could not sleep. What a way to start, or I guess not start the day. What a way to continue the day. Just sit here and get my ass beat by Malenia for the next foreseeable amount of time. Well, she used it at point blank. That's a good death right there. Ugh. I never fought Malenia in 1.0, But I didn't know this. Apparently she had a different attack that was removed from the game because it was too busted. It was like an even more broken version of Waterfell Dance. Like, how do you even do that? Apparently it was like undodgeable or something, so they just removed it. Please don't. Wasted my emergency heal on phase 1. Very unfortunate. Okay. You are not using Waterfell point blank 3 times in a single fight, bro. You're not doing that. That's so stupid. Can you not? Please. I cannot believe she did that shit 3 times in a single fight. Just gets all of her HP back because of it. That's so dumb. Bruh. Thank you. And I died from it anyway. That's crazy. So that last part is definitely my fault. That might be the worst RNG I've had on a Malenia fight in my life. She used Waterfell 4 times, all of which when I'm point blank from her and there's nothing I can do about it, and waited until last minute to use the dive bomb thing. Man, that fucking sucks. I feel like I was playing well the whole time. It was just, okay. I was playing okay the whole time. It just sucks that I got really shitty RNG there. Yeah, because at the end of the day, that's what you do with Malenia. You're just kind of RNG farming. So if she doesn't use that attack, and if she does, it's just better luck next time. Bruh, come on, man. So stupid. And sometimes you'll just get attempts where she doesn't use it at all in phase 1. Or sometimes she doesn't use it at all in phase 2. It's just farming. Bro, there's no way. God, that's so dumb. Half health, already used it twice. Can't wait for her to use it 6 more times. Go and use it again. I dare you. Do it. Okay. Relatively clean phase 1, to be honest. Wow. First move. First move. You believe that shit? I think part of the reason I still struggle with this fight, this is my fault, by the way, is I feel like I have a hard time figuring out which moves I can use to, like, hit her out of attacks and which ones I can't. Like, sometimes it feels like when I hit her, it like completely knocks her out of her combo and she like kind of slumps over while I hit her. And then sometimes it feels like I hit her and she just hits me through it. I'm not sure which attacks are meant to be like stunnable. Because sometimes I'll hit her like right before she hits me, like that, and she'll stop her combo. And sometimes I'll do that and she'll just laugh and then hit me anyway. I'm not entirely sure which attacks I can get away with. Alright, dodged it that time. I can't believe I died to her easiest attack. That's just depressing on my part. Hey, any day you want to stagger, that's super cool. Just if and when you would be in the mood to do that. See, I just stunned her out of a grab. That's like super rare. Huh. You know, I haven't really done this for a fight, but I might look up like a full guide to this fight, just because I'm curious about like the mechanics behind it. I hate to break it to you, Mikla doesn't give a single fuck about you. I'm going to be so real with you. He's in the Shadow Realm laughing right now. He's out there having a lovely incest gay romance with his brother, so sorry about that. I mean, that is one of the faster, like, attempt runs I've done for Malenia. Usually it takes me a hot minute, but I've been recording for 22 minutes and I've not paused the recording a single time, and I've killed Radagon, Elden Beast, and Malenia, so I'm pretty happy with that. We got Malenia on like 3rd try. That's not bad. Alright, we have all the great runes. Our character is very powerful now. Alright, let's go ahead and give Messmer a hand. I swapped over to Sacred Blade, Jesus. But I'm still going to use the original Twin Blade. I just think it's kind of quirky. I don't know. Using what's probably just the worst Twin Blade. Ow. Ow. Man, it's going great. Man, I'll just get hit by every attack. Like, I'm just, I'm just really trying to learn the moveset here. You know what? We got to get the first one out of the way. It's always that first one. You die real quick, then you come back for that rebound, Now, Messmer actually heavily resists holy damage in his first phase, but actually gains it as a weakness for his second phase. So we're not going to use why can't I say that word? Sacred Blade until phase 2. Oof. There we go. I forget that it's not a full health bar. I kind of wish Messmer had 2 health bars, to be honest. I think he's a boss that is fun enough to fight to warrant that. Whoops. I meant to run, but I accidentally dodged, which kind of made me panic roll. I also feel like this guy's phase 2 goes by really fast. Why am I so trash at this game? What the fuck? Boom. That was possibly the messiest Messmer fight I've ever had. The opposite of clean. That was, not great. My last one wasn't very good either. My next Elden Ring playthrough, I gotta really lock in for Messmer. I'm not having a good showing at all. Okay, we're doing this just so we can go straight to Radahn, so we can respec into Holy to get the rest of these guys out of the way. So let's go ahead and do Romina. We'll go ahead and swap to fire. I think she's weak to fire, probably, most likely. And see, this is that versatility I'm talking about. The ability to keep scaling, right? Like to keep your quality BB scaling without having to spec into stats that are usually associated with that damage type and get that damage. It's like the best of both worlds. You really get to have your cake and eat it too. I feel like a lot of somber weapons just get screwed right out of the gate because it's like such a chain. You either just have to be an absolutely goated weapon, or you're just going to be forgotten. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, what's really stopping you, instead of using Eleonora's Twin Blade, what's stopping you from just using Blood Flame incant to enchant your weapon with Blood Flame? Like, is that really all that different? Because if you do that, you still get to keep whatever stat spread you want on your weapon, infuse it however you want, but then you also just get the benefit of the damage type. But it's such a hard balance. I feel like what makes so many somber weapons good is just fully dependent on if the ash is good. Because normal smithing weapons have superior scaling usually, because you can infuse them to go hard one stat. Even something that's really good, I don't know, for instance, the Meteoric Ore Greatsword was my #1 pick for best Colossal Sword in the game. And I still believe that, even though it is a somber weapon. But its scaling is really bad. It just is busted in every other department, especially its ash, which carries it. It's definitely a thing I do not envy being a developer and having to balance all of these different things together, because it's gotta be so hard. I mean, it is so hard. We're seeing the repercussions of that when you don't balance it properly, especially since you can just freely swap what ash is on your weapon. Just at either a blacksmith, or if you have a wet blade, just at a site of grace. Like right here, I can just go down to Ash of War and just pick literally anything for this weapon. I can give it whatever skill I'm allowed to give it. Like, some ashes aren't compatible with some weapons, but I could make this do fire damage, lightning damage, holy damage, bleed damage, frost damage, including the passive effects of either frost buildup or bleed buildup or whatever I want. And that is such a busted thing to give a weapon. And I think that really pushes smithing weapons above somber weapons in most use cases. Again, unless it's something like, I don't know, Blasphemous Blade, where it's pretty much hard carried by its ash, in the fact that you can't put that ash on a different weapon. Because the weapon would be useless if the ash was available for other things. You're using Blasphemous Blade for the skill attached to it. The blade itself is just whatever. Like, it's fine, I guess. Oh, I think this is it. Boom, Euphoria. It's actually a legendary weapon. Obviously, we can't use it yet, but it is a very good looking weapon. Very cool. Might be my favorite twin blade visually. Very cool. We're not gonna do a full showcase since I can't like properly wield it yet. We do have it. We now have every twin blade, all 8 of them. Very cool, very cool. So now we can just make our way up to Radahn. Don't you dare approach Mikola the Kind. Hello. Get completely fucked, bro. I can just keep pressing the button, man. Nothing's gonna change. Also, since we are technically invading, we do not have access to any of the buffs our Great Runes normally give us. What the fuck? That still went through? Are you kidding me? There we go. We actually didn't take any deaths to that. I mean, we just completely walked through the first 2 people. That wasn't even... like, that was crazy. It's weird that their corpses stay here, right? As opposed to, like, vanish. I wonder why that is. I am gonna go get... I forget what it's called. I think it's like Marika's Braid or something. It's the holy damage negation talisman. I'm gonna go grab that, and then I think we should be good to go. Guess who's out there revving their engine all day again? My favorite neighbor. By the way, this is at least day 6 that he's done that. He always starts at 6 a.m. and he will sit there and rev his engine all day. From I would say 9 to 5, but it's more like 6 to 5. Just literally all day. From dawn to dusk, truly. He'll sit there and rev his engine for all of that. Like... Well, I am missing a Skadu fragment somewhere, and I don't really feel like going to every single place that I've ever been to try to find it. So I think we're just gonna not have a level 20 Skadu level. I'm gonna be so real. Now, granted, we wouldn't have it for this fight anyway because we haven't got Gaius yet, so we're at a level 18 regardless, but that just means for like Bale, we're not gonna be level 20 until I inevitably get stuck on him anyway, and then go back for it. Ooh, I also have the wrong talismans on. That's not helping me very much. Please do your thing so I have time to change. Thank you. I have my one for getting runes. That. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm back. I gotta see when I can get greedy, because this kind of playstyle is kind of dependent on how greedy you can get for that successive attack bonus. Because otherwise my damage is just really bad. So he resists slash pretty heavily, but he also just resists everything pretty heavily, so that's not really like a super fair comparison. The only thing he doesn't like really resist is Pierce. Heal just in case. What if we got a first try Radahn? That'd be kind of sick. I don't know why I just greeted that. That was the dumbest shit in the world. What a waste of a heal. Alright, well, getting close. I'm gonna first try Radahn, that's really funny. Oh man, I kind of want to show that fight in full. I don't really want to drag the video down. I just want to prove that that was legitimately my first attempt. That's really good. Oh man. I mean, granted, no flasks remaining, almost no FP. Not exactly something I would call a clean fight, but hey, that's a first try Consort Radahn, not full Scadutree level, with the first default twin blade weapon with Sacred Blade as my Ash of War. I mean, we'll take those. We will take those. Level 161. I think that's already higher than it was last run. Let's go ahead and respec. We're gonna go ahead. Aw, man, I should have used my runes to upgrade weapons. We're going to go ahead and use the 3 remaining weapons we have not used thus far, being Black Steel Twin Blade, Gargoyle's Black Blade, and of course Euphoria. I'm going to probably save Euphoria for like Bale, you know, so like the hard bosses. Alright, let's go ahead and show off movesets for these last 3 weapons. I have actually fully leveled these last 3. I forgot to fully level the Twin Blade before Consort Radahn, but who even needs that, right? Easy fight for babies. Okay, so first of all, we have the weapon we could have been using for the past like 15 hours, which is Gargoyle's Black Blades. This is going to primarily scale with strength, which we are not doing because I'm lazy. That's definitely a thing. I figured it would just be a mainly faith weapon, since it scales mostly with, or since you need more faith than strength to use it, but I'm stupid and did not check. Either way, it's a plus 10. Most of your damage is coming from the holy. It does more holy damage than physical damage, which in my opinion sucks, but not really in the DLC, I guess. So we'll see how it goes there. But for our moveset, very standard stuff. There's your charged heavies, and then your uncharged heavy. Then it's going to have your standard spinning slash, Ash of War, because none of them have unique stuff, and then one-handed. It's just exactly the same. You've seen all of this before. What I find very stupid with this weapon is that it's stuck with spinning slash because it's a somber weapon. Why? Now, I also don't know. There's like a particle effect when you hit somebody with this. You see that like red, like residue? I don't know what that is. Bronze Twin Blade wielded by valiant gargoyles, mended with blackened corpse wax. Deals holy damage. I don't know what that means. Does that mean you don't have to like fully kill skeletons? I just don't know. So I feel like this weapon is going to be very close to the bottom, and it's not going to really reflect with what we're fighting, because we're basically all the rest of the fights in the game are just melt to holy damage. So it's not really a fair comparison, because it's going to look better than it actually is. At the same time, how bad can a Twin Blade really be? It's just a very solid weapon class in general. I think, without even using it, I can tell you this weapon is most definitely best used as a secondary Twin Blade to a different one. Like, for instance, if you had, you know, Euphoria in one hand, and then you put this weapon in your offhand, I have a feeling it would go a lot better, just because you're not stuck using that terrible skill. Well, it's not even terrible, it's just, it's a Twin Blade. It so badly wants to be infused with something. And since it's somber, not only can you not use an ash to imbue it, you also can't use any items to imbue it, or incants, because you can't do that with those weapons. And that sucks, because what else is this thing gonna be good for? This thing it's probably gonna be the worst one. Like, I'll be honest with you, I don't have high hopes for this thing at all. I know I should be saving the critique section for the end, so I'll shut up. Then we have a weapon with plus 25. This one is going to do way more physical than holy damage, so that's good in my book. I know there's like less risk, less reward, but with split damage, I prefer it that way. This weapon looks sick. You can't really tell because of the lighting, but the design on it is amazing. This might actually be my favorite. I know Euphoria is a lot more stylized. It's just, especially with this armor I have on, this is fucking beautiful. Nothing really to see here. Same moveset. Except it does have the poke that, wait, is it the same poke as the Godskin one? Hold on. So I think it's a slightly different poke. No? No, okay, so it is the same moveset. So it has the slightly altered moveset with the Godskin. So it kind of reminds me of the Fire Knight Greatsword, where it has the superior moveset of the Godskin version of that weapon class being Godslayer's Greatsword. That's definitely a plus. I love the pokes there. Very cool, because you still get the slashes on your normal R1s, which is what you're using on this weapon class anyway. And then when you do actually use a heavy attack, which is something you normally wouldn't do with a twin blade, you do get that pierce damage. So I think this would have actually been really good against Radahn. Since it doesn't do that much holy damage, it wouldn't be that much of an hindrance. Plus you get good access to pokes. And thankfully, since it's a smithing weapon, you can put any skill you want on it. I mean, any skill that's, of course, you know, compatible with this weapon type, which will bump up your scaling requirement. Because right now it's a DCD, D strength, C dex, D faith. I will probably bump it with like a sacred or something just to get the scaling with faith up as high as I can. And then lastly, but certainly not least, we have the Euphoria. This is the weapon I hear the most about. That makes me excited. Standard moveset. It does not have like a pierce heavy attack. From the looks of it, it is all slash. So slightly worse moveset in my opinion to the previous weapon. Yep, pretty identical attack chain there. And then this weapon has a sort of gimmick to it, I believe. Using the power of the vortex, violently twirl the armament, dealing multiple slashes directly ahead. The greater the restored luster of the blades, the greater the power of this skill. However, use of the skill will fully consume blades luster. Okay, so basically, I think this is taking the whole successive attack damage to its like maximum. I think as you use it, yeah, they're going to start glowing like that, which then, I don't know if the glowing means it's already at max or if it can go higher than that. I'll attack a few more things real quick. And then you can unleash it like this and just fuck everything. And go ahead and build it back up. It's built up. Use it. Okay, that seemed a little bit shorter. So I do think it goes beyond the glowing. I think that's just to tell you it's got started. But I mean, as you can see, I just completely annihilated every living being in this little alleyway here. None of it stood a chance. And that range does seem decent, but not as much as like the magic beam, you know, that goes borderline infinite for what you would use it for. All right, Midra time. The depths of your foolishness. Ooh, wait, if I used the Euphoria there, I could have built up that successive attack thing you need. I think that would be a really strong weapon to use just for that. But I think this is actually one of the few that aren't like super weak to holy, which was just like a normal hard fight that you'd want to save till later, which is why I didn't fight it up till now. Yeah, sick Ash of War, bro. We got him. Spinning slash, my beloved. Damn. Okay, yeah, I got you, man. I did not see that telegraphed at all. That's my bad. Nice. You don't usually get stance breaks like that on these kinds of weapons. Spinning slash, let's go! Yeah, 1400 damage, baby! I know I missed the first one, but, I mean, come on. Okay, bye-bye, Midra. This for sure isn't terrible, but I still think, why would you use it necessarily over literally anything else? I don't really see it much of a reason, to be quite frank with you. I gotta quit saying "to be honest." It's like my fucking Toy Story Woody like pull string catchphrase is "to be honest." Yeah, we're level 165. We are way over leveled. I don't know how that happened. I was thinking about using Euphoria here, but I think I want to use this one last time. Well, actually, let's use Blacksteel Twinblade. Let's throw Sacred Blade on it, and we'll do... Yeah, let's do a Sacred Infusion Sacred Blade. It's not going to have the best scaling, but it should work best for what we're using it for. Hey, I actually dodged it this time. That's doing good damage. Ow. 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 Okay, guys, this is harder than Consort Radahn also. Figured I'd point that out. This charge attack is stupid. What did I do wrong? Can someone please tell me what I did wrong? Ugh. I don't like Gaius at all. I've really soured on, like, horseback style combat. Can you stagger, please? Ugh. Man, right into, like, the borderline unavoidable charge move. That's really cool, Gaius. It's really cool that you decided to do that. What the fuck is even happening? That was way dumber than that was supposed to be. Wow. It sucks that that guy is hiding, like, the most amount of fragments in the entire DLC. So, like, you basically have to fight him, even though he's optional. It's so dumb. You know what, let's go ahead and use the Euphoria here, just because they are completely allergic to holy damage, and it's going to be really good. If this goes well, this might be the most amount of damage you can see in this game. And my physic isn't buffing holy damage either. It's just the successive attack combo and stamina regen. This isn't even like the cap for damage. I don't have the Scorpion Talisman either. That's already doing a fucked up amount of damage and none of my buffs are active. That's really funny. Let's use it. Yeah, damn, he moved. I just got stupid, but yeah, that's absolutely busted. That is a goated weapon right there. And this weapon does do a little more holy damage than physical, but it is a pretty even split. The only thing making holy damage pull ahead even more is because it is primarily faith scaling, so that's just gonna buff that up a little bit more as well. Oh, hey, look, a somber weapon that doesn't have miserable scaling. Like, come on, a fully leveled somber weapon should have like at least a B scaling, right? Like, is that really too much to ask? Well, that's a way to do it, I guess. I never even got to use my beam. I had a whole beam sitting here ready. That's kind of unfortunate. I also forgot to level up my shadow level. I could have been doing even more damage. And it's still not even max. It's kind of nuts. There's like a... Oh, and I didn't even have my Alexander Talisman. So even if I did use it, it wouldn't even done max damage. This thing's insane. I'm not doing this weapon proper service, and it's still doing good. Because I missed a Skidoo fragment somewhere. I don't remember where, but I'm not full Skidoo level. I don't have proper stats. I only have 60 faith. Really, this should be at 80. But I had to put a little bit into strength just because of some other weapons we have to use. No Alexander Talisman, no Scorpion Talisman. My Physic isn't properly attuned for this skill. This weapon's absolutely busted. It was doing that amount of damage, and it was nowhere near its ceiling for damage. We're quickly running out of bosses just because they keep falling. Really, we only have Dancing Lion and Bale are like the only big ones we have left. I don't really do Matir because it takes like a whole quest just to get to it. It's same with like the Lich Dragon. It's just, I just don't think it's worth it for the fight that you get in return. But we'll go ahead and do Dancing Lion. I want to save Euphoria for Bale because I think that'd be very climactic and epic, I guess. We'll get to choose which weapon here that we want to finish off of. I think we don't really need much more from Gargoyle Blackblades. I think it's a pretty safe assumption. It's just not that good. Also has the gall to weigh 8.5, which is the same amount as Euphoria for being, you know, tied as like the heaviest of its class. A lot of the others are just 8s or even 6 in terms of like Eleonora's. I think we're gonna go ahead and use the Sacred Black Seal. You most definitely can have a better Ash on this. This is just the one holy Ash I have. That's gonna be hurting damage a little bit. We don't have like a super strong Ash to put on it, but it's gonna infuse it with holy. So we'll be doing even more holy damage. Yeah, I mean, that's just solid. Just a very solid weapon. All right, we're pretty close to a level, so despite us already being pretty over-leveled, I'm just gonna bang out one more level just real quick, and then we'll go ahead and fight our final boss, Bale. All right, we're going full DPS on this guy. I've completely reset my talismans, two-handed, successive attack, two-headed turtle, Alexander's, like the whole 9 yards here. I got my Physic into holy damage as well. We don't have the stamina one. I'm just gonna use the turtles and hope that's enough. I'm gonna sit here and get absolutely devoured by this man. Pause. If I can reach his head, that'd be really cool, though. The damage, like, the pure damage also just is pretty good. Like, no buffs, no successive attack. Like, when none of that's procced yet, it's still good. Let's go for it. Nope, okay. I think this guy could use a little more telegraphing with his moves, to be honest. I said to be honest again. I'm gonna tear my own throat out. Oh my god. I think just a little bit more visual cue for when he's attacking. Like, it can still be as fast. Sometimes it just feels like he attacks you, and it's like, oh, okay. You know what? It might be worth it to not bother going for the head and just going for body shots. Just because it doesn't matter the damage we're doing. We just need the successive damage. It doesn't matter if it's bad damage. Use it again. It just needs to be going for a little bit longer. I need more of a charge to make that really worth it. I still don't know how to avoid that one. And of course uses it right below him when I'm right below him, which is unavoidable damage because I can't move in time. Let's go. I would like to stay under 30 deaths because I will absolutely have half of my deaths in this entire run be to Bale. I am not good at Bale at all. I prefer... That's just bullshit. Like, it just is. It's just, I don't think he's very hittable a lot of the time. Like, it's hard to get damage in when your window for damage is available. Use it. Okay. Yeah, maybe it's not as good of a weapon to use on this boss in particular as I thought. Though I will stand by, probably avoiding headshots is probably the best way to go. Unless you're, like, actively punishing an attack window there. Like, here I can go for it. But you'll only ever have time to get a couple swings in anyway. I'm running full speed, man. What do you want me to do about that? Okay. Okay. Noted. I'm holding left on the controller. I am holding left and running. I cannot physically move any faster than that. And it just works that time because it just decided to work. No, I did absolutely nothing different using it. Just completely fucking misses. That's awesome. That range just is barely not good enough, man. That sucks. I bet I gotta use it like right underneath them. I bet that's kind of like the sweet spot for that in particular. That's a great build-up we just had. I just gotta get a good window and we are good. God, I'm gonna lose it. Fuck. Come on, give me something to work with, man. Okay, we kept it. He's using the fuck you attack. God damn it. And if he would have used anything else, man, if anything else, it would have worked. Now my fucking combo's gone. Ugh. God, that sucks. Try to use it here. There we go. Okay, we got it. It's okay. I mean, we can't use it again. We're out of FP now, but that was a good... I'm holding left. I'm holding left. Miraculous I didn't get hit there. Just hit him once, please. Okay, whew. Almost through that. Yay. I mean, at least it does the spin if you don't have, like, the mana for it. So it'll probably do some damage. That wasn't the best showcase for that weapon. I still think it's in the same spot, but that does show a little bit more of some potential weaknesses that it does have. Primary, it is range. It's not the longest beam. You can kind of see it from the side. It's just kind of hard to tell because of that giant circle of light around you. It kind of blocks that from view. Well, that is Godrick, Rennala, Radahn, Morgott, Rykard, Fire Giant, Mohg, Maliketh, Placidusax, Godfrey, Malenia, Elden Beast, Dancing Lion, Rellana, Putrescent, Gaius, Messmer, Romina, Midra, Bale, Consort Radahn. There is one bonus one I did forget until just now looking at my notepad, because I keep all of it on a physical notepad, and that is the Scadutree Avatar. We can go ahead and fight that. And we did just give the Euphoria a one last hurrah there, so we could actually go back to Gargoyles if we really wanted to, and just give that another shake, just as a last-ditch effort to get anything out of it. I should most definitely take Alexander's Talisman off, because hey, for sure ain't none of this damage coming from the Ash. Also, if you think this damage is a lot, just keep in mind this boss has, like, absolutely no HP. Throw that on, I guess. I forgot to execute him, so his phase is going to be longer. That's awesome. I would really enjoy not taking a death to this guy. Let's finish it with an Ash. Let's go. C tier weapon. Let's go. Hey, if the worst weapon of its class is C tier, how bad can it be? You know, the weapon class itself can't be that bad. You know, we can do our weapon ranking in this room. A little different from last time. It's a decent view, you know, nice open area. We'll go ahead and finish it off here. Okay, I believe I have finished my ranking. This was a kind of tricky one, and I feel like I've made some incorrect decisions, but I don't really know where else I would slot in or out some of these weapons. It's a very tricky one for me, because they are so similar, much more similar than I thought going in. So a lot of these are coming out to either preference, maybe style points, or even something like personal bias, you know? Okay, so leading us off with last place is, I kind of spoiled the surprise earlier, but we do have Gargoyle's Black Blades. It's not the worst. I think this is mid C tier, maybe. Maybe if on like on a real bad day, you could say it's like a low C. But in general, this weapon is just very unimpressive in every single regard. For base game, the Holy Split is doing you no favors. By the time you get it, you only have things that are resistant to Holy, because you get it so late in Snowfield. There's not really a reason to use it in that playthrough until DLC. And there's something I have to keep in mind, is there's a chance you don't even have the DLC. Like, it's DLC. You know, like it's either you might not even own it because it is expensive. You know, the DLC's base price is $40. You know, that's 2 Hollow Knight Silk songs. But second of all, even if you do own it, you may not even like it. This DLC has a mixed reception, you know? Like, I don't think holy damage can be as much of a buff as some people might say nowadays. Other than that, it's a somber weapon, for some unknown reason, is cursed with being stuck with fucking spinning slash as its Ash of War. What a sad day to be a Twin Blade fan. Man, it could have been anything else. That is the default skill, or Ash of War, for every other Twin Blade that is just normal. So effectively what you're doing is you took the normal Gargoyle Twin Blade, forced a Holy infusion with it, gave it the default skill, and then just left. So what you could do is just use Gargoyle and then Holy infuse it, or get the Gargoyle and then get like the Sacred Slash, whatever it's called, and use that to infuse the weapon in Holy while still not doing primarily Holy damage. It's just a little bonus sprinkled on top. So at the end of the day, I don't think there's any reason to use this weapon. And that's a very odd spot in terms of the grand scale of this game, because it's not the worst weapon, but there's zero reason to use it, you know? So does that make it worse or better? It's better because obviously this is going to out DPS like a torch, you know, like obviously. But at the same time, it's like, at least there's something to a torch. There's like a funny meme value to that. This has no value, just inherently. It's useless. Just don't use it. All right, and then jumping quite a bit ahead, I would give this somewhere like in a B tier. We're going to have the default Twin Blade. This thing is also in a tricky spot in a similar way to the Gargoyle's Black Blades, in the fact that, like, on paper, it's not a bad weapon at all, and either of those weapons could bring you through the game. Obviously this one, I beat the game with this weapon, you know, for crying out loud. But the problem is this weapon has a straight up replacement later down the line, and it's the next Twin Blade you would get in the sequence if you would follow like a normal game progression. So I think this one is fine pretty much until you hit the capital city, in which case you should just swap it out for Twin Knight swords. Other than that, it scales primarily with dex, but can go either way. I used it as a quality infusion weapon, and I thought it was decent. It's a BB scaling when it's like that, which is far from the worst, especially for a weapon you can get, I mean, not exaggerating, probably 30 seconds from entering Limgrave for the first time. It might be the fastest weapon you can get in the game off spawn, not including weapons you spawn with, obviously. So it's got that going for it. It's a fun weapon class, and it will definitely showcase the weapon class as a whole if you want to invest into that kind of thing. So it gets a recommend just for being the starter weapon. This is for sure not a Sellsword Twin Blades Dark Souls 3 kind of weapon, where it just carries you and it's the best of its class, and for some reason is the beginning one. This one is definitely what that should be. This is an introductory to the weapon class. You do not use it after that. Just about any other Twin Blade is going to be a pretty straight up improvement, including the next one on our list, and that is going to be, as foreshadowed before, is Twin Knight swords. This one is a little bit longer, it's a little bulkier, it scales with strength instead of dex. However, I will point out that the actual table of scaling in this game, it's barely worse at scaling if you do it with Keen than the original Twin Blades. I think it's like, I think literally 8 damage, 8 or 9 damage that you're missing out on for your scaling bonus. So it's like just barely worse at dex, to the point where I think the weapon's increased base damage would outpace that, if not just like cut even, you know? And that's even putting aside that you should be infusing this with heavy or quality. Heavy will for sure outpace the normal Twin Blade. But I'm just saying, if you are doing a dex build, don't go with the original Twin Blade because it's technically higher. It is by a fraction of a fraction higher. Like, it's gonna be completely unnoticeable, I promise you. So I think this is solid for strength, dex, or quality. Fuck it, give it bleed, give it frost. I think this is a great, just standard weapon. Like, completely box standard. This can definitely get you through the game. I mean, it's fun. It's a Twin Blade, you know? It's not the most stylish weapon. I think it does visually look a little bulky, and I'm not a fan of like the cuffs. I don't know what you would call that on a sword, but it's what's right above my left hand there when you hold it. I think it might look cool if you like dual wield 2 of them maybe, but I don't know. And it should be noted that pretty much any of these will be improved just by dual wielding them, just because it is a Twin Blade, and I think that is one of the strengths of the weapon class. It's just like a curved sword, you know? Maybe a little less so than a curved sword, but in general, using 2 of them is going to be better than using 1, except for 1 in particular I will point out towards the end. Yeah, that's number 6. Very solid, very usable. I apologize if you can hear some background noise. It is raining pretty hard outside. But on the good side of that, the car dude is gone because it's raining. So yeah, that's always a plus. This one I had a very hard time placing, because it's very much dependent on your play style as opposed to the weapon's quality itself. For number 5, I'm going to give it to the original Gargoyle Twin Blade. To get the cons out of the way, it is short, at least compared to a lot of other weapons, especially the one we just looked at. It is quite a bit longer. But the big upside that this has over, I want to say, yeah, every other Twin Blade, it does the most base damage, and it has great scaling with strength to boot. And I do actually believe it is the only Twin Blade with strength, at least, for a heavy infusion, to have an A scaling with strength. If you want a Twin Blade and you don't want any status, you don't want any, you know, bleed, scarlet rot or poison, lightning, cold, fire, none of that. You just want a hard stone metal stick that just fucks things with pure damage with no other bells or whistles, then I think this is going to be your weapon. The only downside I can really give it is that it is short, so that's going to limit some potential with range. Aside from that, that's as far as I'm going to give it. It's very odd. I think for me, the range really is what makes me put it at 5, kind of towards the bottom. It was just like a little bit longer. I noticed while using it, like even off camera, just killing mobs, there'd be times where I was like barely not hitting people. So that is a con for me personally. But since it is not a somber weapon, like its stupid older brother, the Gargoyle's Black Blades, you can also get an Ash to put element on the weapon. Like here, I like Bloody Slash, so it can still do bleed damage without being crossed with any other stat. You can just go pure strength and get that A scaling. So I can see this being a lot higher on other people's lists. It's just, for me personally, I prefer more statusy weapons with this weapon type, because I think that is what it is made for. But this is definitely the black sheep of this weapon class. It kind of reminds me of the Watch Dogs Colossal Sword from our Colossal Sword run, where it's just the big damage one, you know? If you're just in it for pure raw damage, it's going to surprise you. It's just, for me, I think there are a few better options. All right, and for number 4, this one I also feel a little iffy about, just because I have seen people talk about this, at least in base game, and say that it's really good, but I think just like its counterpart with Colossal Swords, I think it falls a little bit short, and that's going to be Godskin Peeler. I feel more positively about this weapon than I did Godslayer sword, because like I kind of get it here. It has a unique heavy attack that focuses exclusively on that pierce damage, which is beautiful, and I love it, and it is by far the best thing about this weapon. However, they had to do the exact same thing that they did with Godslayer sword, which is add a DLC weapon that gets this moveset. And a big difference is I think this is a super rare case in a weapon that I think would have seen more value as a somber weapon. I think this weapon's main Ash of War that it comes built in with is really solid. Even if you don't like it, it's sure as hell unique. I think it is such a shot in the foot that they let that be an Ash you can put on other weapons. That takes a lot of this weapon's exclusivity away from it. And I think taking that away is such a negative, because this Ash of War is actually kind of solid. It does really good with group mobs and isn't the worst thing to use against bosses, but I would not count on it. This is most definitely an overworld type weapon. Again, I really apologize if you hear some thunder and lightning going on. I'm going to try my best to edit around it, but it is picking up outside. I think this weapon would have placed higher if the Blacksteel Twin Blade didn't exist to take away one of its big buffs, which is that R2 is really good. And it's the same thing with greatswords. Like, that poke attack is so important. Weapon type diversity is so incredibly strong, and I think it's stronger than people give it credit for. There's a lot, I think, misconception with physical damage types that they all kind of are the same, aside from like maybe strike damage, because it's good against like stone enemies. But slash damage isn't always good. In fact, there's very few cases where someone is actively weak to it. Like, the only one that really comes to mind is like Morgott is weak to slash, but so many enemies, especially armored enemies, are weak to pierce. Consort Radahn, for example. This is a great weapon to use against him because of that pierce damage you can consistently do. And that's just something that kind of happens mid-combo with the other Twin Blades. Like, they can do pierce damage, you just can't do it on a whim like that, you know? So this is definitely a strong weapon. I just think it not having exclusive access to its Ash of War is a hindrance. And I think them adding a weapon that just has the same moveset too outdoes it. And also, Blacksteel Twin Blade, a little sneak peek for that weapon's rank, isn't somber. So you can just put this weapon's Ash on that weapon, which replaces this weapon. You just shouldn't use it over that. And I'm sorry. Like, it's just better. Unless I'm missing something very crucial here, there's no reason why you couldn't do that. But that's just me. Maybe scale-wise, the infusions can be better on this one, but it's just not for me, I guess. Not in the fact that it's bad like the others, it's just it gets outclassed. Another big positive I'll point out before I go to the next one is it does have very good keen scaling if you do infuse it. It has an A scaling with keen, which is very good. And there is a reason I would still prefer Blacksteel Twin Blade over this that I will get to in a few moments. I do have some lights flickering now. I have not lost power to my computer, but I will power through this as fast as I can. In fact, I'm going to end this recording and start a new one, just in case this one gets lost. Before we get to the Blacksteel Twin Blade, I do have one more I'm going to slot in here, and that is going to be Eleonora's Pole Blade. This one on paper isn't anything too special in comparison. It does very low base damage. It does have that pesky split damage type that I like to bitch about a lot, with being pretty 50-50 physical fire. Granted, I can't actually wield it because I don't have enough arcane right now, but you can imagine that. However, I think this weapon does have a little bit, due to my own personal bias, very good looks. I think a bloody twin blade really is cool. I think that its weapon's ash does do it benefits. You can't really see the whole thing because I can't wield it, but I imagine there's like blood and shit coming out of that, like cool effects and whatnot. Just use your imagination. I think that this weapon is somber. It does actually give this weapon more of a use than Godskin, because it actually lets you keep that ash as an exclusive. And it's a pretty good ash. It might not be the most versatile just because it takes time to use, but it's very fancy. You cover some ground in it. Your hitbox does move. I've actually dodged some attacks by using this final attack right here and doing that back step at the end. I've dodged attacks like that. So I think for high skill players, this weapon is very good. I think infusing this weapon with half fire damage is not the worst kind of infusion you can have in the game. It's not as good as lightning in my opinion, but it is okay otherwise. The other big part is not only does it do good fire damage, it also has bleed buildup. So I think if you were dual wielding this weapon in like New Game Plus, since, you know, there's only one of these weapons per playthrough, I think that's a completely valid and very fun playstyle. And honestly, this ranked a little higher than I would have expected. Another good thing to note is this is the lightest of the twin blades as well. It is actually even lighter than the original twin blade. This is, I don't know like what unit of measurement the weight is, but it is a 6, and the twin blade is a 7. And for reference, this weapon is only 1 unit, I'm just gonna call them pounds. I'll say it's 6 pounds. I don't know what unit of measurement it is. This is 6 pounds. This is only 1 pound heavier than the flail. So it is pretty light. Not as light as like a straight sword or anything, but like surprisingly so. So this makes it the most efficient to dual wield with by far. Having 12 pounds for dual weapons that have 4 total blades is amazing. And again, this only gets better if you dual wield it. Not even with itself. Just put bleed on any of the other twin blades that can have it and just jump L1, you know? You're gonna be doing stupid damage. You're gonna be hitting the bleed procs. It's gonna be good with the blood talisman. If you use the Great Rune Overhaul mod like I do and I recommend, Mohg's Great Rune's gonna have some good buffs with it. It's just gonna be a good time. Okay, I'm gonna have to have a little bit of explaining to do on why this ranked so high, but it's just kind of a feeling I got, so just hear me out. I'm gonna put this on Black Steel Twin Blade. So on paper, there's nothing really that special about this weapon, but I do have a few notes. I think that its default standard non-infused variant, or I guess lack thereof variant, is pretty solid in itself, especially with the holy damage that you do not being a lot. So it will only ever really act as a bonus and not as much of a hindrance. I think with it being a sacred infused, it can do the job of holy. And I think this is a valid boon because before, like I said with, you know, Gargoyle's Black Blades, there's no guarantee that you're even doing the DLC for that holy damage to even be a benefit, but this is a DLC weapon. So if you have access to it, you are in the DLC, and you are going to see those benefits from holy damage that the DLC does have. And what's immediately after the DLC, if you choose to keep playing the game? New Game Plus. New Game Plus, the beginning of the game, holy damage is good again. So you're gonna see even more benefit out of this. Other than that, I think it's a very sexy weapon. It's very basic, but like in the best way. It matches this armor really well. Strong weapon, good scalings all around. It does pretty good base damage. You know, heavy infusion is probably your best bet. It's going to be doing B scaling with strength and then D in faith. Or alternatively, you could do like an occult infusion, which will let it scale with the arcane, which I believe is actually its highest infusion it can reach at a 131 B scaling. It just won't have the bleed passive, so it won't have like a bleed buildup. But you could pair it with something that does, so you can still take advantage of that arcane scaling. Or you can do what I did and infuse it with like sacred to give it a kind of mediocre, to be honest, C scaling in faith, which I honestly probably wouldn't recommend. I think this does work best as either a heavy or a cult, but most likely heavy. Not terrible with keen either. It's still a B scaling with keen, but it's a 117 as opposed to 128 with strength, so it is going to be doing a little bit less, but it is still definitely more than usable. Another thing is those heavy attacks, man. Those pokes are it. That is what makes this, in my opinion, a pretty solid replacement to the Eleonora's pole blade, but I can totally see another viewpoint that that weapon is a replacement for this one. I think it really is just preference at the end of the day, but for my money, I think I'm gonna run this one, to be honest. I said to be honest again. Oh boy. To be honest, and you know what I mean, are like my actual superhero catchphrases. I mean, it's just a fun, sexy weapon. You know, put any ash you want on it. Thankfully, it's not a somber weapon, so you can take advantage of that holy damage and increase it by using, you know, like a holy base skill. Or if you want to do the occult infusion, you can just give it passive bleed by using a bleed skill on this. Give it fire damage if you want, so it, you know, it'll do holy fire and physical damage if you use like flaming slash or strike or whatever. It's just a very versatile weapon, and I think it's very easy, light. Holy damage really is just a bonus in this specific case, and it's pretty rare. So I think in terms of just default blades, I think this is kind of it for me. I mean, good range too. Like, I don't see many downsides to this. And then for number one, I will go with the popular opinion, and I am gonna say it is the Euphoria. I mean, what even? I did this weapon a very much a disservice with my performance against Bale, but I hope my fight against Putrescent was enough to lean you to that direction instead. Even though that boss is criminally allergic to holy damage, which this thing has plenty of. I have this thing maxed with decent faith, a 65 faith right now, 205 base damage before scaling, 245 holy without scaling, solid B scaling. For a somber weapon, I'd say that's pretty decent. They could have very easily made this another like DDD scaling weapon for no reason, like it's Dark Souls 3, but they didn't, so that's good. The damage buildup you get from creating a combo is a very fun mechanic and just bleeds really well into the successive attacks that this weapon class is already known for. And then just that big holy beam at the end is so satisfying to pull off when you do, and you will do, because you don't need that much of successive damage to get that built up. And because of that skill, and because of this weapon's kind of gimmick with building up, I think personally, this weapon is better used by itself, which is so weird for a twin blade. I think this is like the only one I would be genuinely like, yes, I would prefer to use it solo. Just throw like the two-handed talisman on it, because you keep both your hands on it during pretty much all these animations, aside from, you know, this one. Throw Alexander's charm on this, throw the successive attack one on this, throw anything on this, scorpion charm, whatever you want, man. Do what I do and have this physics setup with the holy shrouding crack tier and the thorny crack tier, and just sweep. It's such a no-brainer kind of weapon. It is pretty 50-50 with its holy damage, but again, it's a DLC weapon. Everything's allergic to holy here. The only con I can really give it is you get it so late in the game, where you kind of have to purposely not fight DLC bosses that are weak to holy until you get it, because you get it like right before Consort Radahn. So yeah, I think this weapon class is very fun, very stylish, very effective too. I mean, as you can see, I died 23 times. I think that's like 1/3 of the deaths I had last time. And you know, I still would recommend colossal weapons over these in terms of like ease of use, just because you have to keep in mind your successive attack bonus to really milk as much damage as you can out of it. And colossal weapons are just Lion's Claw and then jump heavies. But I mean, it's not like these are like hard to use. It's just a little bit more in depth, just by smidge. Yeah, I think that's going to go ahead and do it for this playthrough. I think we're going to go ahead and just get the default ending this time. You know, ascend to Elden Lord.
Of how a tarnished became Elden Lord. Our seed will look back upon us and recall an age of fracture.
and that is Elden Ring. Very fun run. Very, very excellent. Very effective. I think now I prefer twin blades over curved swords. I thought the curved swords were more effective before, and they might be when I get around to doing that playthrough, using all the curved swords, but for this one, I think twin blades really did win me over. Well, just more effective than I would have originally given them credit for. I think outside of the Gargoyle's black blades, I am pretty even on a lot of these weapons, and they were a lot similar than I would have thought, especially for Elden Ring, where every weapon feels a lot more unique than like the previous games. I think you could have definitely given the ¡1 spot, or at least #2, to a lot of weapons I put, even in the bottom half. Like, I can totally see someone saying that, like, I don't know, Gargoyle's superior damage outweighs the weakness of its range, and its infusions are good. Or even Twin Knight Sword. I think it only does a single point less damage, but has a better range. You know, I put that as like third to last. I could totally see someone putting that at #2 or even #1 if they wanted. But at the end of the day, I think my lists are they're less definitive and factual and just more subjective. So for me personally, this is my personal list. I think looking at purely numbers, you could definitely make this list a little bit different. But that's just my opinion with these weapons here. Yeah, twin blades, great fun. I hope you had fun watching. Thank you so much for all the support I've been getting. At the time of recording, let me see. At the time of recording, 114 subscribers. That is approximately 113 more subscribers than I would have expected me to ever get. Just thank you so much for that. My first Elden Ring video, as of today, is now 30 days old, like a whole month old. Has reached 2,000 views. Kind of impressive, 1.9 thousand watch time hours. So I'm just glad I could keep people like engaged and entertained for a good amount of time. You know, I get nothing but super sweet comments and just a lot of support from everyone. So just thank you for that. Next time, I don't actually know what game. There's some sick and twisted part of me that wants to do Dark Souls 2, but I would just embarrass myself, and I can personally guarantee you my death count would reach triple digits well before any close to final boss, just because of the amount of overworld deaths I would have from the mobs in that game. That game is brutal for all of the wrong reasons. We'll see. I could try to do something with like Bloodborne, but the class system isn't really the same. You might see a Dark Souls 3 video, you might see a Dark Souls 1 video, you might see another Elden Ring video. I honestly have no idea. Or you might see something else entirely, not even FromSoft related. If you'd like to see that. I do plan on live streaming the Black Flag remake when it comes out, because I'm a big Black Flag fan. Thank you so much. I've been yapping too long. Everyone, have a good day. How about that, huh? Have a good day. I hope that even if you clicked off in the first 2 seconds because you misclicked and meant to watch someone else, or if you stayed till the end, I hope that you have a good rest of your day. If you did click off and you can't hear this message, I hope that you feel it somehow in your spirit and in your bones, that my good vibes are reaching you. So just thank you a lot, and take care.